chunkier rounds that we've seen for G2. Players being caught off here and there, but some solid kills coming through in the retake. And of course, well, Shazam, it didn't take too long for him to move up the scoreboard, at least a little bit on that Jet.
Yeah, I mean, there weren't many... wasn't much of a lead to catch up on, let's say it that way. The fact that Mixwell, a little bit too slow. He was waiting for Dapper to walk on through. He was hearing the shots out of that frenzy. And that small gap that was left open for them to walk out the door, they grab the kill to Avova, they overrun the site. That's what we needed to see from Sentinels. That was on a weak bind now, and a big difference maker was the fact that keloqz played so aggressive. He was starting to ego them. I mean, with 7 rounds, you can't really blame him, but now we need to see that come through again. We need to see Sentinels make it work when G2 aren't playing overconfident now that they've lost a round.
Oh, just as Shazam goes to push, he's going to be held back by a snake bite. They're doing well to deny pretty much all of the aggression of Sentinels so far. That's one of the things I've been really impressed with for G2. Now the drone, not really going to find anything, so this gives that extra space for Shazam to move a little bit further forward and cut off rotations, but this time it's looking like G2 might just pick up the pace.
It certainly does. Nuke is watching for the flank play, holding it down, but might be caught on the cross, and he'll be on his way because Sick has already been taken down, but there it is. Shazam trading it back, taking out the star player for G2 in this map so far. That could be a huge blow to the attacking side, but they have got the spike planted. Time is on their side, and as it ticks away ever faster, Sentinels need to make this B retake work. It hasn't been successful for them so far, but they haven't had this kind of weaponry in the past.
This is the Avova spot. This is one of those positions where he sticks in all the time. Ten's on a late flank, he's been spotted. They're expecting him now, but could act as a bit of a distraction. And quickly, Sentinels just dropped 3 players. It's left all onto Mixwell, and his burst through the screen is not going to achieve anything. Another solid retake from Sen. It seems like they found their footing.
This is where G2 might get a little bit worried, Sentinels breathing life back into their game. Ten's activated in that little 2-piece that he found towards B long. Now you notice that G2 had the Viper's Pit online for a couple of rounds. They had the A and B site and didn't use it there to secure the round and ended up losing them subsequently. I think at this point, they're going to start to reassess this. A little bit of back and forth by the boys. Sentinels getting their chance to return. I like it. But this is where G2 need to reassess things. Still yet to see a pause come out, which I'm quite surprised considering how things have been going.
Well, for now at least. Both sides still with a purchase in play. Again, they're going to be waiting outside B just for any sort of aggression, and mid, again, is going to be the main hold, at least in the early stages of the round. Maybe expecting that pace change once again from G2, like trying to go for something into mid, because most of the time it's been slow defaults, fighting the extremities, giving space to Nuke to look for openers. He's going to be spotted by the drone. He's got to be careful, because Tens is on the hunt.
He's backing off now, but Tens seizes the space right away. Not going to pursue too far. It's over towards this B site that you start to get worried. With Zom's in position behind Yellow, he can be isolated. The cross is being watched by Shazam, but there's no way they'll go across without a Viper wall down. In fact, it looks like there's no way they'll go across at all. G2 start to relocate. Moving towards the spawn, and it looks like they want to late exec into the A site.
They're going to try and send... Well, it seemed like they were going to send Mixwell through mid. Instead, he's going to double back with the rest of the team. You can see Sentinels have the right idea. Already rotating Dapper through. The remaining players also going to make their move. And as the screen goes down, it looks to try and section the site in 2. But G2, they don't have a lot of time here, and they've given Dapper a slight angle.
Oh, the Boombot gives away his position. He's being blast-packed, but somehow he's able to get a kill from that position. Still alive now as Sentinels gain the man advantage, and there's so little time left. G2 are just being poked and pressured, and by the looks of it, taken down. Avova somehow able to stay alive. He's getting the spike planted. keloqz has come in with 2, and all of a sudden, it's down to Sick. He has to clutch this one out. No idea where Avova might have gone. The wrap could be in play, and he's about to get peeked out by keloqz on the op. This is so tough. He needs an opportunity to take a duel and a close shot, but a whiff. Now as the time ticks away, Sick is taken down easily. They reposition, they relocate, and put an 8th on the board. G2 doing a fantastic job of bouncing back.
And this is a phrase I never thought I'd say, but Sentinels are being out-clutched. Like, that's what we're currently witnessing. Normally, they're the team to win these 2v4s, 3v4s, 2v1s, whatever you name it. They're the ones to come out on top, and keloqz, he is on form. I mentioned him at the beginning of the series. Like, if they're going to have a good game, if they're going to be able to challenge versus the previous champions, this man needs to be on form. And, well, boy, is he on form.
Fair to say. It absolutely is. You look at that situation, I mean, there was no way in my mind that that went G2's way.
No.
4v2, lockdown, 10 seconds left. They surely couldn't have gotten the spike planted, and somehow Avova maneuvers around. His timing is perfect.
He gets a kill while planting it the first time.
Absolutely, and then just about manages to evade 6 position, his sightlines, as he moves around the side, gets the spike planted. keloqz with a double kill that stopped them from pushing down and killing Avova. Like, every piece of that puzzle came together perfectly for G2. That's the kind of round that happens 1 in 100 times.
Well, now we have to see how Sentinels are going to break back from it, because I think the last time we witnessed this map, it was an 8-4 attacking side half for G2. That was enough for them to get it over the line, even though we can sometimes see those attacking comebacks. I feel like Sentinels, at a minimum, need the 4. Like, realistically, it's still not going to be the best of halves for them, but there would still at least be a possibility. Say, for example, they lost the pistol, but at this stage, well, there hasn't been consistency from them. It was a couple of rounds, both in terms of retakes, like their actual holds of the site haven't been exactly going well. This time as well, they even had some sneaky angles behind the utility of G2, which caught G2, and they still lost it.
Now, we all know Hypoc loves to see those retakes get started, but he hasn't seen them at all so far for Sentinels. You know, you've had those 2 rounds that came through, but losing out, I think, arguably more than we've seen them up till now.
Oh, does TenZ hear the footsteps?
I think he did.
Yeah.
I think he might just about have caught them. Shazam's ready with the operator for a quick kill, and he's not even the point man on this round. He'll take first contact, but now it's all about buying time for TenZ's flank. And the question is, does anyone on G2 look back towards their spawn? And for now, the answer is definitively no.
Yeah, they've also stacked up the remaining players. There's even one watching into mid just to try and hold off the flank. This is being perfectly played at the moment by Sentinels. They have them trapped, and G2 have to try and fight out. Mixer, though, has been able to find one. And this could give them at least a little bit of space. The problem, though, is the spike has currently dropped all the way back towards 10. So he's called for that little bit of extra support. Shazam, though, he misses his shot.
Yeah, he's going to be tagged up massively. Has to be so cautious about any future fights that he wants to take. Waiting for his teammates to rotate into position for G2.
30 seconds left.
Moving around to grab that spike's going to be pretty tough, and Nukin knows that he's about to run into a couple of players. TenZ shutting him down. A 3rd kill for that man in this round, and that pretty much cements the save for G2. If Mixwell finds an opportunity right away, sure, maybe they go for it, but instead he runs right into the operator of Sentinels. It is 8-3. And sure, it's been an abysmal half for Sentinels, but if they find this one, there's still hope.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think that's the first time we've actually seen TenZ pop off as well. So that in itself could be a difference maker. Like the first time, I think the G2 haven't caught him as he tried to get a little bit aggressive. We saw in a lot of the early rounds, like there was the pipes position that he just got killed, I think, 3 or 4 times in a row.
He went to 8 rounds without a kill in total this half, so that's
it's been rough,
bizarre.
That's for sure, but the fact that he's now found that 4K, that's more of a danger to me than anything else.
Yeah, most definitely. That is 2K before. It was clean. You saw his aim get warmed up, and now coming in with 4. This is where TenZ becomes revitalized. Shazam, operator in hand. This is another shot, and Zoms goes down. The B site under threat. Sick has rotated in, so Shazam, tries to get back, but he's caught on the cross. Sick left waiting in the sidelines. No res in play for them coming into this final round, and keloqz, he's forced back. He can't cover the plans, but we will have a Viper's Pit activated. That will buy them some space, but if Dapper can manage to find Mixwell here and grab a tag, that could have been huge. But instead, they're using it as a fake. They're running away towards the A site, just leaving keloqz here with a Bulldog in hand. He's going to try to shut these guys down.
Oh, this is just the biggest bait of all time.
They've
actually watched in mid as well. They think that there's going to be players. The only problem here could be that they actually get caught from behind. Nuclear, he's going back! TenZ is like, I must be going towards the B site. Sentinels are completely lost in this round, and now he's going to go running through the spawn, and Nuclear's just waiting for him. This is glorious from G2, leaving just Dapper standing to try and pull off a ludicrous clutch.
And he will not even get a Mixwell shutting on third kill of the round, and it's 9-3. Sentinels completely blindsided, assuming that it was about to be a mid-split into the B site, and they found out the hard way that it certainly wasn't.
No, I actually can't believe what we've just witnessed in this half. It's one of those matches where you think that realistically it's going to be back and forth, and sure, G2 managed to take it last time, but well, we got another half to go, I guess.
Yes, we do. And you know what? I think Sentinels are going to need a breather after that one. Maybe we do too. Let's toss it over to the desk to get some of their opinions on how this one's been going.
Thank you very much, gents. It's looking mighty familiar to the last time around. And in fact, G2 will just do us one better there, Doug. A 9-3 half compared to an 8-4 the last time they were on the attacking side of Icebox.
Just come on from
Zon.
like, we gotta
Just eke out one more, eke out one more. But I love the way in which it's happening so far, Doug, because it's very much the way we were hoping it would. And in fact, this is
okay,
our
guys.
Verizon high-speed moment of the day because it comes from
Zom's
Nukier.
Nation, let's be
It's
over here.
7 rounds straight for G2. Him leading the charge, but kind of speed and aggression we thought would be the difference maker.
How good does it feel to not have to hold in an
I hated that. I'm thinking 50%
No.
back.
No, you're not.
7-0 start, and Nukier.
No.
It's actually such a dumb weapon. Yeah, Spectre, Classic, Jet Knives, Frenzy, it's all good. This guy falling down from Rebs double headshots me. If I am. Does anybody want to just fight early A with me?
भाई मैं इतने टाइम से बोल रहा हूँ
Yeah, I'm gonna
इज्जत ही नहीं है ब्रो यस या
because they're not even doing anything for bottom.
क्या हाल चाल है साकेत कैसा है ब्रो हाय वेलकम स्ट्रीम
Yeah, yeah.
माय बैड मैंने ध्यान नहीं दिया क्या सूतरी है ब्रो जी तो मजा आ रहा है ब्रो
I hear one med. No footsteps though, no footsteps. Two or three med. I'm spamming. Am I walking? Fuck. I'm holding it.
क्राउड कहाँ है एने 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 कहाँ गए भाई एने नहीं हो रहा एनएच एने एनएच के क्राउड की स्ट्रीम में लिख रहा था मैं इनके टाइटल देखो मैं ये दिखा रहा था ब्रो इनका टाइटल देखो ये बदतमीजी देखो इनकी सैन वर्सेस गोल्ड 2 गोल्ड 2 वाला ने बजा दी बता तेरी यार
Favorite monster flavor, the ultra one.
Don't give him any breathing room, G2, if you want to take this map number 1. Mitch and Tom, right back to you to get us into the action.
Well, we're ready to jump back into half number 2, and let's hope that there's plenty for coming out of the first. And you know what? We talk a lot about the 9-3. And you know what? We talk a lot about the 9-3 curse.
फ्यूच आ गए क्या
He's been praying to anybody can to try and get Sentinels back into this map. So we'll see. Maybe he has managed to jinx G2. In which
और सुना
case,
साकेत
well, just get
बढ़िया
him.
आप कैसे मैं बहुत बड़े हूँ ब्रो
Just get him. You might be ruining our series at that
मैंने
point.
आज बहुत टाइम बाद अच्छी डाइट ली भूखा था मैं भाई कोल्ड कॉफी पी तूने क्या खाया मैं पूरा फुल महसूस कर रहा हूँ आज बहुत टाइम बाद मेरी भूख खुली है मजा आ गया आज
Sentinels are gearing up for a B take.
इसलिए मेरे अंदर एनर्जी आज पूरी क्योंकि दोपहर में कुछ खाया नहीं था तो आज पूरी मतलब खुल गई डाइट वरना जब से कोविड हुआ तब से तो भाई खाना खाया नहीं जाता था भाई पूरे पूरे दिन में 1.5 डाइट जाती थी पूरे पेट में हाँ ये चीज मैंने गई थी ब्रो जब मेरा माइक कनेक्ट था कि इनके अटैक रोकना बड़ा मुश्किल होगा इनके अटैक का एग्जीक्यूशन बहुत प्यारा रहता है यार सैंडल्स का देख रुके पड़े हैं G2 ने गलती करी थी जबकि G2 वॉल के थ्रू चली गई थी बट 4v3 है देखो ऑल्सो देयर वाचिंग फ्लैंक और एक बंदा अभी भी G2 का ए पे ही रुका पड़ा है देख रहे हो शज़ाम ने मैक्सवेल को बहुत प्यारा शॉट क्लॉक्स तो ऑन फायर है बेबी न्यूक तो बहुत ही प्यारा खेला ब्रो क्लॉक्स ने ऑपिंग बहुत सेक्सी करी है और 2 एचपी खत्म चला साइड में 6 2v1 करना चाहिए बकचोदी नहीं बिल्कुल भी होल्ड में एंटेना उड़ा दिया नाइस वेल प्लेड यार दे डिजर्व टू विन ब्रो
I can't believe what I'm watching. We have literally gone for a team not losing a single map at the last LAN event to potentially losing
a back-to-back iceboxes. Yes.
That we never expected.
And you know what? Kellogg's a player that we highlighted to
तुम एक
start
चीज
this
देख रहे
out,
हो
you know, his battle versus 10
दोनों टीम में कोई वो नहीं है, साइफर नहीं है, कोई वो नहीं है। केजे इंटेल के लिए फुल सोआ भरा पड़ा है। मोमोज अरे साला खाना भी खाया करो यार, मोमोज क्या। वैसे मोमोज यार दिल्ली में बहुत वैरायटी के मिलते हैं भाई, फ्राइड ये वो, तंदूरी मोमोज, ढिमके मोमोज अच्छे लगते होंगे यार। डोलमांटी के मोमो कैसे हैं? मैंने कभी खाए नहीं।
A lot bought up for Sentinels, and they're looking to get the value out of it. Plans coming through. Evolva has the flank.
आगे भाई सूद दिया।
Not able to connect Evolva, even predicting the position correctly.
शॉक डार्ट मारेगा डैपर। न्यूक ने 2 खा लिए भैया।
This is falling apart for Sentinels, an absolute disaster. Zombs tries to step it up, but he's so low he'll be dealt with easily.
ओ भाई।
And this is 11 for G2.
11-3 भाई। बहुत प्यारा खेल रही है यार। अगर हेवन में इनको हरा दिया ना सेंटिनल्स को, मेरा नेक्स्ट मैप होपफुली हेवन होने वाला है, बिकॉज मैंने पिकअप्स नहीं देखे इनके। मैं तो सच्ची बताऊं, मैं स्ट्रीम करता, मैं अपना खेलता, रैंक ग्राइंड करता था, क्योंकि कल मैं खेल नहीं पाया। एक मैच खेला जिसमें मेरी बीच में लाइट चली गई, और एक मैच खेलने का टाइम था, तो मैंने स्ट्रीम नहीं करी रात के, क्योंकि मैं फ्री हुआ था 12:30 1:15 बजे करीब। तो मेरा मूड था खेलूंगा। जब मैंने यूट्यूब चलाया, मैं पहले यूट्यूब देखता हूँ थोड़ा सा, फिर स्ट्रीम स्टार्ट करता हूँ, वार्म वगैरह करता हूँ, तो मैंने देखा भाई G2 वर्सेस सेंटिनल। मैं कहा रीब्रॉडकास्ट हो रहा है क्या? मैंने कहा नहीं, ये लाइव है। मैंने कहा चलो यही देखते हैं भाई। मुझे आइडिया नहीं था इनका मैच होने वाला है, यूट्यूब ना चलाता था तो मैं भाई खेल रहा होता इस टाइम तक। नो डाउट शिज़ाम बहुत ही प्यारा प्लेयर है, बट इनको सेंटिनल, इसको टेंस को जेट खिलानी पड़ेगी भाई। वो अग्रेसिव नेचर उसकी तभी तुम भुना पाओगे जब तुम उसे खिलाओगे जेट। वो रेना खिलाना गलत कर रहे हैं। रेस भी खेलता ना ज्यादा अच्छा रहता है, क्योंकि रेना के ब्लाइंड पे तो ऑफ गार्ड पकड़े नहीं रहे ना G2 को। मैंने भी नहीं खाए, तो किसके मोमो खा रहा है तू? पॉलमा पांटी के? What the fuck? मुझे तो लगा वो जीत गई सेंटिनल्स। अबे ये हुआ क्या? मुझे लगा सेंटिनल्स जीत गई ये राउंड। रुक जाओ, पहले लास्ट राउंड देखते हैं। ये क्या हुआ भाई? लास्ट मैच जब सोनी साहब आए थे स्ट्रीम पे, अगर वो हैं अभी भी, वैसे है नहीं मेरे चैट में वो, मैंने बोला था, मैंने कहा भाई नहीं एग्रो खेलना पड़ेगा और जीतना है, तो सोनी साहब मई ले रहे थे। अरे बड़ी भाई तुम ही बताओगे, मतलब कहने का मतलब उनका यही था, तुम ही बताओगे क्या करना चाहिए क्या नहीं। भाई आज लौंडे देख रहा है एग्रो खेलना, जीतना ही जीत रहे। मैं रीड बहुत प्यारा करता हूँ यार, ये बात तो है, क्योंकि सेंटिनल्स की नेचर ही है एग्रेसिव खेलना पूरी टीम की, और ये आज इन्होंने बजा दी उनके। अब फट के खेल रही है सेंटिनल्स, फटी हुई है सेंटिनल्स की, क्योंकि ये एग्रेसिव खेल रही है ना बहुत ज्यादा। एक किल फ्री की, ए कर पिक की, पिक आवाज आ गई तेरे को, पिक कर। 5v3 एक खाली पड़ा है भाई। सोवा वायलर से खेल रहा है उनका होल्डामेंटा। आ गई आवाज, अब करेगी रोटेट टीम। देख लेती नहीं है, रोटेशन आ जाएगी। आ गई। मरा। And maybe he can keep them in it. It's him versus Kellogg's, the operator facing off against the Guardian. Let's go. Kellogg's will close it. A phenomenal map for G2 as they win 13-3. Local seller. Okay. बहुत ही प्यारा है गेम प्ले, मजा आ गया ब्रो देख के। Kellogg's और न्यूक का तो। पिछले राउंड में क्या हुआ है ये देखना है मुझे। इसमें क्या हुआ? सब जिंदा थे, ये अंदर घुस गए थे। भागते हुए आए थे।
To say the least, they're going to try to isolate these close
ठीक
range
है जी।
angles on the A side. There are Viper walls
ठीक है
absolutely
जी।
everywhere, but that gives Sentinels the
टैंस और
ability
जॉम्स
to
ऊपर
close
थे।
in on the side.
शिज़ैम वहाँ बैठा, न्यूक का आया नेड, वो भग गई सीज आगे। केलॉक्स हमारा फ्लैंक। केलॉक्स चॉकोस। ये हमारा शिज़ैम ने मैक्सवेल को, कोल्डामेंटन ने हमारा सिक को। ये हमारा शिज़ैम ने कोल्डामेंटा को, क्लॉक्स ने उड़ा दिया डैपर यहाँ पे नाइफ से, इसका मतलब ये यहाँ से नाइफ से पीक लीन ने खोपड़ी उड़ा दी भाई साहब। अब रह गया 3v3। ठीक है, ये न्यूक ने हमारा और ये हमारा ठीक है, फिर ये तो पता है मेरे को। ठीक है ब्रो।
Well, yeah, up against the best team in the world. Like that's what we're looking at right now. That's the only caveat you could ever get to this. This is the best team in the world. But what we do have to say, the next two maps is something very different, because although we've seen them lose Icebox twice now,
डैपर और सिक बड़ी बातें छौंक रहे थे लास्ट गेम। बोलो अब बेटे।
you don't have to worry too much just yet, because I have a feeling this series could very easily turn on its head.
It definitely could. There's a lot of
हेवन होगा भाई, हेवन में तो हेवन में तोड़नी है सेंटिनल्स को।
Before we get into the next two maps, we're going to throw things over to a quick break.
इसकी शायद सब्सक्राइबर्स ओनली है, वरना मैं लिखता ये बात मैं कि गोल 2 को G2 कर ले।
Oh god. Let's see.
क्या ट्वीट कराया उन्होंने? ओ भाई, गोल 2 ranked up today, plat 2 भाई।
Oh my god, look at this guy too.
Carlos.
एक वीआर करके साइट है यार, मुझे नाम नहीं याद आ रहा। Carlos Lockelot, founding CEO GT Sports.
Loss with Mixwell, who is also in great spirits. I don't know. You know, I use humor when things.
ओ भाई, फक सेंटिनल्स। ये इन्होंने उड़ाया था प्लेन। फक सेंटिनल्स। ओ भाई, ये अब वो आया उनकी सेज। ब्रो, सेंटिनल भाई। क्या क्या चल रही है भाई ट्विटर वॉर। ये मूवी देखी किसी ने? ये मूवी देखी होगी तो समझोगे, वरना नहीं समझोगे। मैंने देखी है ब्रो। अच्छा, ऐसा भी हुआ था। ब्रो मजा आएगा नेक्स्ट मैप देखने में, कौन सा होगा। सेंटिनल। ओली
this guy on the main roster.
कार्लोस ऑकलॉट ने मारा शिज़ैम को. अच्छा जी. रुक जा डूड. ये मालिक है जिसने शिज़ैम को उड़ाया अभी.
Whoa! Get this guy on the main roster. Hookah. Enemy spotted A. Out of here.
One more left. It's free.
Wall.
Chill.
What's this gun? Jagah, 650 bucks.
कार्लोस ऑकलॉट. देखते हैं कितना मारता है भाई. पूरी क्लिप है तो. ओके. इनमें अहंकार बहुत आ गया है सेंटिनल्स में. अच्छे प्लेयर्स हैं, अच्छी टीम है, बट
Twice in one round.
फालतू की बातें नहीं करनी चाहिए.
Against Sentinels, guys, we just qualified for the playoffs. Tomorrow we play against Sentinels. I hope you guys are gonna be watching and supporting like always, and then we're gonna smash them. Guys, we just qualified.
I'm gonna fuck him. Holy.
Minutes and seconds, but it gets better. That includes timeouts.
Oh my goodness.
31-46, and that was a conversation we had at the beginning, right? You've got to go fast. You've got to go hard.
We laid out win conditions. Yours on this side of the table was speed, aggression, momentum. Make sure you play through it all. And we found all of that in the first half, and we highlighted Nuke. On the other side of the board, Gio, I asked you, and you pointed out one player in particular, and that was Kellogg's. And he was locked in.
Oh yeah, Kellogg's was a beast in that map. And his stats were actually pretty good in their previous game that they played, but he wasn't like that standout guy. And I feel like he and Nuke in this game, they really felt like that duo that you want to see from a super team that G2 are trying to build.
Those stats.
What is that? 5.4 KD! That's illegal!
It's 23-5-4, as the casters said before we popped down here, that 376 combat score. I mean, just the comparison between the two Jet players, right, is astronomical.
I just wanted to point, Avova is on 4.0.
पूरे 12 किल का डिफरेंस है शिज़ैम और
just chilling out down there.
This was a straight shellacking.
G2 ने try नहीं होने दिया भाई.
I mean, that's the thing about it, is that you start to wonder whether or not the whole of NA is shaking in their boots a little bit. I know, as Tom said, the next two maps are a little bit of a different story, but that's the kind of turnaround. We were talking about, hey, the thing you need to be concerned with is Shaz, and maybe the fact that he's dissected your...
अगर है ना तो ये जीत लेगी. क्या नाम है सेंटिनल्स.
You showed up and you added to your dominance on Icebox.
Yeah, it just somehow got worse, right? I think you're hitting the nail on the head. That was what we expected, right? Sentinels, they can fall behind a bit, right? Like they can play from behind, but then there's always that adaptation. There's the micro adjustments that make a difference, and they just were not there.
Look, I just, it's cute and everything that Sentinels have got this far without a coach, but maybe it's time to hire one.
Oh, all right. I'm gonna wait till they lose the whole series to maybe start making those calls. But I like it.
Chat is gonna
I like where your head's at. Absolutely. I mean, utter domination here this time around. 13-8 last time, 13-3 this time. I will say though, we caught on the cams afterwards. Sentinels didn't look shaken. Yeah. They had smiles on the faces, straight to a huddle to talk all about it. We know that they're a confident team that they will likely be able to shake some of that off. But on the flip side, G2, man, that momentum that we're talking about, you can see the energy coursing through them out there on the stage, and now they're thinking about the possibility of split next, or again, now they're for sure guaranteed themselves at least that bind play.
Right.
The thing is, yes, okay, G2 did really well here, but I do still feel like the map veto was won by Sentinels.
We will preview the second map to come in just a moment. For now, we're heading over to Bala, who's over at the Telestrator to help us break down that G2 dominance.
ये Bala उसमें आता था Fortnite के उसमें competitive में. याद है?
Craziest
map.
Margins I've ever seen. So let's go ahead and take a look at a couple of different things that G2 enable the players that you guys have pointed out. Kellogg's, Nuki, all of them. So we start off with a couple of default utility that they're using at the beginning of the round every time. First off, a shock dart from Cold Dementa. He's paired up here with Nuki on the minimap.
Nice observation. नहीं, मुझे तो याद है अच्छे से भाई.
This is landing directly on the orb in the center, and we're going to look at Shazam's POV. Pause it right as the shock dart. Yeah, you see it in the air. That's landing right down below on the orb and denying any space down below. it's still kind of, you can still work through it like Shazam is doing by actually using this rope, getting onto the belt, and we'll see how Nuki's actually.
बताओ मैं कहता हूँ ना सोवा और क्या नाम है साइफर है नहीं इस गेम के सबसे सेक्सी कैरेक्टर्स, सबसे प्यारे मैच विनिंग कैरेक्टर्स हैं भाई ये पूरी टीम के लिए। इन्हीं की यूटिल्स ऐसी हैं जो पूरी टीम को जितवा सकती है।
Following up with a peek down on top of the pipes right here, where it's very.
मेरे पे टाइम नहीं होता ब्रो, वरना मैं सोवा ऐसा मास्टर कर लूँ ना, मुझे उस कैरेक्टर से बहुत प्यार है ब्रो। उस कैरेक्टर पे ऐसी इंटेल है, ऐसी चीजें हैं कि एक दो मैप को छोड़ के, एक दो मैप क्या वो भी सुन लो तुम, क्या नाम है ये छोड़ के आपका स्प्लिट छोड़ दो और तुम एसेंट छोड़ दो। एसेंट में भी उसका फायदा है बहुत ज्यादा, बट ये है कि थोड़ा सा कम है। बाकी सारे मैपों पे सोवा की भाई साहब जीजीज है, एसेंट पे भी है, बट ये है कि यहाँ स्प्लिट पे थोड़ा नहीं है, क्योंकि स्प्लिट पे नैरोनेस बहुत है, बहुत ज्यादा है। तुमने एक चीज देखी, इसने अल्ट मारी, डैपर इधर हुआ, उसने वहां पे पहले नेड मार रखा था। देख रहे हो कितनी प्रैक्टिस करते हैं लोग।
You see that slow orb. All of this area is really controlled by him, and the wall that Zoms is using by default makes it difficult for him to really see what's happening on the other side. So very difficult if that's paired up with shock darts or anything else. Go ahead and roll it. We have a couple more little utility pieces that constrict Sentinels the entire way. Another slow orb, and watch.
मेरा खेलने का मन कर रहा है, पर इन्हें देखने का मन उससे ज्यादा कर रहा है।
Right in front of Tens, the slow orb and the shock dart combination. If that was him going for the orb for whatever reason, if he was very close to an ult or something like that, you see Sentinels do that all the time, trying to grab the knives. Well, you're dead in that situation. So this is off limits at this point. This entire area you cannot cross unless you try to do what Shazam did. Completely off limits, and that's very much part of Sentinels' game plan the entire time. Roll the rest of it. Because I do want to show a little bit from Sentinel's POV as well, how they're using their utility at the beginning of the round to constrict. For example, what Avova just did with his slows. Here's Dapper throwing a shock dart combined with his recon bolt, but also combined with a little Viper molly there that if landed will make you vulnerable, will make you take extra damage, and it's very difficult to stay back away from that and then really pounce on the plays. That
split
that you need to get in positions like down the B lane, and something that Sentinels is very good at. But this entire time, the utility was really being used to enable G2's players like Nuki and Kellogg's to really get involved in the space that they're taking at the beginning.
Thank you so much, Bala. What an incredible breakdown of how that utility aids the duelists on the side of G2 in terms of getting into the site, finding those picks, and opening up space to really take each of those rounds, again, resulting in a very dominant map one. But this is where things get harder almost for G2 because, Joe, you mentioned it still kind of feels like Sentinels one map select, and there's 2 maps to go.
Well, yeah, I mean, we spoke about Icebox being that map that was going to potentially benefit G2. There was always the chance the Sentinels were going to outstrat them, but we really knew that these other 2 maps, Bind was a risk in and of itself, Split specifically being Sentinels' actual pick, and they had a much more dominant go at it over G2 in their first series they played against each other.
So here we go on to
Split or Heaven, बड़ा दिक्कत होएगी.
Yeah, I think Sentinels bounce back here. I think there's no world in which
मैं खेलने का बहुत मन कर रहा है. मैं मेरा दिल जानता है कितना रोक रहा हूं अपने आप को.
It was a great start for G2, and I think they've got things cooking for them, right? They hit the win conditions that we talked about on Icebox. This map is like the
मैं चाह रहा हूं डायमंड विन कर दूं.
Don't expect them to perform exceptionally well on, right? I think for them, get to Bind.
Right, yeah. It's all about getting to Bind, but we do need to talk about how Sentinels will ultimately pull it back. What about their split play makes it so hard to get?
जिस दिन से हमारा OG शेयर सेटअप आया है 2 तकिए, उस दिन से मैं रैंक अप हो रहा हूँ जब भी खेला हूँ. बस कल वाला मैच है जो मैंने स्ट्रीम नहीं करी क्योंकि रात में एक ही गेम खेला था मैं, उसमें मेरी लाइट चली गई जिसकी वजह से हार गए.
up into heaven, which would be heavily defended, but by the time they were in that space, they could actually do something about it. The other thing is drawing utility out from G2. For example, they would push up through mid into male, and they would ensure that G2 used their paint shells, and then TenZ would just bring out his Lear, push on forward, and suddenly B heaven is yours. And that was something they did very well.
Straight into Prime Gaming Agent Select we go, and you will notice that
I think सिक को रेस खिलानी चाहिए, शज़ैम को खेलनी चाहिए वो क्या नाम है सेज, टेंस को खेलनी चाहिए जेट. ये गलती हो रही है इनसे टू बी ऑनेस्ट. एक नया मेटा आया है भाई, टीमें देखी है मैंने, डैप ये भी लेती हैं, कोरियन टीम ने लिया था, वाइपर भी और एस्ट्रा भी.
And this is kind of insane that I'm saying this.
That's a difference. Mixwell on Raze?
That is different.
Okay.
Because it was Nuki on Raze last time. Now he's hopping to the Reyna. Mixwell takes the Raze. And the Sage goes over to Kellogg's.
Yeah, I mean, there's
what the fuck?
No Jet being picked here. The last composition they played was the Killjoy, Astra, Raze, Jet, and Sage. So moving, and even before then, it was kind of totally different because they were playing with Cyphers and Omens. So this is fresh.
Well, but you know what? We were talking about this like it was a predetermined result. Yeah. And at the very least, G2 is coming to the table with something different. And so I'm quite curious myself what Mitch and Tom have to say about Agent Select here for the side of G2 as we hop into map number 2 split. Gents, take it away.
कौन सी चेयर ली? अरे चेयर ली नहीं मैंने, दरअसल क्या है, मैं ना फोटो भेजूंगा देखना. मेरी चेयर है ना नीलकमल वाली है, मतलब एक कंफर्टेबल चेयर है, आप इस पे घंटों बैठ सकते हो बिना किसी इशू के. बट ये क्या है ना, इसकी कमर जहां लगती है ना वो थोड़ा पीछे है, स्लांट हाइट है, यानी कि ये समझ लो वो 60 डिग्री पे है. अगर आप एक्स एक्सिस से नापोगे 60 डिग्री पे खड़ी हुई है, तो इसके से कमर पीछे होती है. मैं तकिए नहीं लगा रहा था इस एक्ट से, जब से मतलब मैंने दोबारा खेलना स्टार्ट करा है 2 एक्ट बाद, मैं तकिए लगा ही नहीं रहा था, एक तकिए लगा था नॉर्मली. अब मैंने उस दिन दोनों तकिए लगाए वैसा, और तो जिसकी वजह से क्या हाथ में प्रॉब्लम होती है ना ऊपर उठाने में, वो थोड़ी कंफर्ट लेवल में आ गया मेरा. भाई ए पे ही है, मत जाओ, ए मत छोड़ो भाई. नेट हैं
TenZ, low HP as well, and here comes the
यार ये मिक्सवेल का
from Mixwell, but he's got teammates to trade, and just like that, G2 continue the streak. They put it 0 here on split. Not the start that Sentinels were hoping for.
Oh, for sure. This is reminding me again of like that.
I think मिक्सवेल रिवेंज में खेल रहा है रेस, इसको नाइफ करा था ना लास्ट टाइम.
Use our individual skill on the defensive side to just win basically every round just off brilliance. Like, it's not so much about like slowing players down. You got a Vova, I guess you've still got Kellogg's going over to the Sage to try and deny some of the space, but I expect Mixwell and Nuki to be very aggressive in this map.
You know what, Yinsu was telling us backstage that Sentinels on that last map, we suspected it was one of the worst defeats they ever suffered against being that many. And they lost 13-3 to 100 Thieves long ago. That was a single map. But now, this is the only other time they've had anything even remotely close.
Already.
इन्होंने पता ये वॉल यहाँ की लगाई है, ये ऊपर मतलब इस पे चढ़ के यहाँ चढ़ा जा सकता है, इसलिए ये वॉल लगाई है इन्होंने थोड़ी टेढ़ी.
Everyone else just trying to save up as much as possible, and for the opposing side, this is about not only keeping all the weaponry available to them, but more importantly, getting some ult orbs online.
Yeah, most definitely. There's a lot to farm up in this round. G2 don't want to give away too much, and that's why they're really turtled in. They're playing a B retake, hoping to slow down their opponents with
भाई पूरी टीम बैठी है यहाँ पे. सैचल मार दे भाई.
50 seconds left. Sentinels have set a trap. They're waiting for G2 to run into middle. They feed right into Sentinels' hand, but nothing goes away. These Witcher pistols
क्या ही गए हैं. डैपर हंस रहा है, कमी नहीं कर दी, देख रहे हो डैपर की. डैपर की दांत फाड़ रहा है, मरा कौन अब वो.
He gets an ultimate orb. In fact, he gets 2 for the kill as well. So it's at least a little bit of something. He's waiting as well. And
ओ भाई फ्लॉक्स भी मरता भाई, कोल्ड डायमंड ने बचा लिया.
They only lose one player. It's not going to be too bad for G2. And for Sentinels, they invested basically nothing. So can't write too much about it.
अब सेंटिनल्स पूरा स्लो खेलेगा, पूरा स्लो ब्रो.
So many close range duels that they can take. They want to have some sort of an advantage coming into the next round.
रेना ने दोनों आई डाल दी न्यूक ने कि तुम मारो.
quite a decent chunk
execution
of
by
at the same time,
as a team.
it is definitely not the worst thing that could have happened. With Sentinels buying up fully here, we will not see an operator just yet. I mean, there simply are not the funds to allow it.
Oh, for sure. And I think especially, well, when he goes onto the defensive side, Shazam, I expect him to be running right. Taking these aggressive fights, I believe, even into the buy rounds, using that Reyna exactly for that purpose, almost countering the exact thing that
गधे ने क्रॉसहेयर भी चेंज करा है टेंस में.
This time, though, it hasn't worked out. The site has fallen. Now, the spike still has to rotate in. There's a slightly more aggressive rotation coming out from Kellogg's to try and spot them as they go through.
Sentinels have such a huge advantage in all the ranged fights that they take. With a minute left, they don't need to feel shoehorned into pushing just yet, but they have obviously got the side. That was an ambitious play by Mixwell.
Mixwell काम खराब करवाएगा यार.
Has he? So they won't be getting anything done here in Avova. Well, trying to make it costly, a double kill for him before he eventually goes down. And that was starting out as a pretty terrible round, but Avova just managed to make it a decent one for them in the end.
Yeah, it was very controlled by Sentinels. They made sure that all the avenues were like blocked off.
Mixwell kill के लिए खेल रहा है bro.
You had Dapper's Poisonal, making sure that nobody could make a play through the ramp, and it was really only I think the small ideas that were there from G2, like you had the gravity well at the back of the site, trying to pull someone in as they used the nade to clear the corner. Nice ideas, but they don't really get much from it other than the couple of kills from Avova. So we're going to see an investment back in. It's actually still not perfect though. Kellogg's is only going to have a pistol.
Yeah, not ideal. I mean, from what we've seen of Kellogg's in the past, this guy in the last map had one of the best ones that we've seen from him in recent memory, and considering who he was up against, he's definitely someone you'd want a rifle in hand with. But you look at what he's playing right now. The fact that they have pivoted him over to the Sage, despite such a good series, and that's where sometimes you make those changes. You allow someone to play comfort, but giving Nukia, with all the openings he found in the attack, that Reyna could be absolutely massive. To start this one out, Kellogg's goes down right away, but Mixwell's good for a trade. Problem is they're fully stacked up on this A site now. You only have Avova playing B all by himself.
Yeah, he doesn't have much utility available to him either. The stars already being placed means he'll at least be able to slow down the push from B main. And of course the wall is
B का execution है भाई, इनका B है सारे.
We'll just have to try and recall some of the utility that he already had, just to give him an opportunity. Now the Lear should be heard. This will pull one of the rotations, but Coldamentor is very far away.
Pulling the mid.
No spam. This sort of sells the fact that he's not on the back site, and then he baits them in and takes the kill. Now as they come closer, he's good for his second.
Holding
this one down all by himself, and his teammates are rallying to his side. Avova has done a spectacular of not giving away that advantage or the site control, and they don't even get to step on the site before they're taken.
What a fucking game, bro.
Great answer by G2 in round 4.
Yeah, this is one of those roster moves where I think a lot of the time when you saw the players being picked up from Heretics, people were looking at Nukia as the focal point. Okay, this is the man that's being retrieved. Oh, they've got Avova as well. The way that he plays is some of the most beautiful Valorant you're ever going to see. Whatever agent that he decides to pick up, the utility that he uses is just so superb, and the fact that he not only delayed them, then had the smoke and survived, that's ludicrous.
Shout out our French viewers who understood what Kellogg's
ludicrous.
Well, maybe not. We don't know what he said. Oh yeah, I think
French.
Past it. It's 3-1 here, and Kellogg's is definitely.
इन्होंने EU करके बहुत दिमाग खराब करा भाई सबका.
This attack side Sentinels though have got plenty of time to get those gears rolling. Yeah, this is so early on.
ये मुझे फैंटम पसंद आई थी साकेत. मेरा एक टाइम को हो गया था ले लूं, बट फिर वो नहीं लेते हैं एक बार, ये बाद में देखेंगे.
Are being ticked right now, but they need to keep up this pace and not crumble to a weaker buyout of Sentinels. And even that pistol in the hands of Shazam, he's got a Blade Storm to play with. So there's actually, it's deceptively strong on the attack side.
They're going to start to make the play into mid.
Mid execute करते हैं भाई.
Actually got his showstopper. He's going back, just at least holding them back, delaying them for the moment. If he can find anything here, it would be huge. And in fact, Sentinels are just going to give up all of the control they've just taken. Sure, he might not get a kill from it, but that ult was still valuable.
He puts it down to 45 seconds left as they come into the later stage of the round. This really disrupts the tempo of Sentinels. Wants to catch something as he moves out towards the side. His teammates coming in through heaven as we speak. The nade forces him back. Now they can split this push and just look to take
मिक्सवेल खा गया शायद जी खत्म ज़ॉम्बी को तो मार देंगे अकेले
After he runs out of ammo, G2 pick up a fourth. They are steaming into the lead.
I'm really impressed. It's just the not even like the frags.
Bro, what a game,
that's
bro.
nice along the way. It's just how well they're doing to delay Sentinels with all the control they want. Like they're making them hesitate, delaying for 10 seconds. Then the second somebody comes pushing through, they have a nade to try and slow them down a little bit, just so things are a little bit more disjointed. And that is enough for them to either get rotations in or just pick a jewel that's a little bit more favorable.
क्लास के बहुत वो बन जाएंगे भाई ट्विच के फॉलोअर्स बहुत ज़्यादा
G2's reads, adaptations, and ability to look at a push and identify this is a split. Let's slow down one side of it and fight the other. Absolutely beautiful. But now they face a very different brand of Valorant. Up against these pistols, we expect Sentinels to play it very differently. And it starts out with what is essentially a default. They are looking to bait some players into open combat so they can take some fights. In terms of ults, Sick and Tens just about to crescendo into theirs, and that could be massive for them. Maybe not in this round, coming into the later ones, but it all depends on whether G2 give them an opportunity here and now.
Well, I think they've realized as well that G2 are rotating quite quickly. They're using their utility to delay as much as possible, so they've gone very quickly into the A site and then had some peaks elsewhere. Because for a moment, Sage completely alone. So if he goes down, there's much more of a problem. I think that's going to play a big part in this whole.
क्या नाम है रेस और टैंस को देता जेट
It does indeed, but for now they're right into the A side, and Nuke is holding up close. Phantom in hand, fades on out. Doesn't want to give more than the one kill they've already got, but Tens creeps his way into the vents. Now he's gonna rifle, but he hasn't got a life anymore. Nuke is still going and farming up a third, possibly even the fourth. That gives that over to Kellogg's. Let him get some ult orbs. With Zoms left alone, he can only hope to do some damage with the Sheriff, and he certainly has. Kellogg's down. But that little bit of a dent into the economy, I mean, they have to answer up in the buy rounds for that to matter.
Yeah, they basically need to get something onto the board, and again, it's been an incredibly slow start.
IGL है ना शिज़ाम इनका कैप्टन है तो इसने खामा की ये दिखा दी कि टेंस ज़्यादा वो हो रहा है ब्राइटम वॉशअप हो रहा है सबके सामने के टेंस से टीम है तो मैं खोलता हूँ जेट खामा की लकड़ी बेफिजुली की
Yeah, I've heard a lot of conversation about him, though, and people saying, you know, okay, he was godlike on land, but is that going to happen every time? No. And you need something else to work with when it doesn't. Mixwell's being sucked in, but he's managing to get out of the gravity well and make it back towards the top of middle. That operator stays in, and even though they've rezzed up, they still have a man disadvantage. Mixwell is giving them no space to breathe. In fact, looking to take Tens down yet again, but they'll eventually concede control.
बड़ी लटका हुआ कैसा लग रहा है भाई ज़ॉम्स कहाँ घुस अच्छा ये बी पे घुस रहा है ज़ॉम्स
Coldamenta waiting as well with pretty much his full set of utility alongside a star as well from Avova, so you can look to try and pull any close play, but again it's just delayed.
उसका नैनो स्वॉर्म तो अभी पड़ा है डाल
as they try and make their way through. This time though, they do manage to destroy the second nano swarm. So he's not going to be able to do much damage.
Get that utility on the replay after on the EVS. We need that on the big screen. That was absolutely gorgeous, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on. There's no time because Sentinels are rushing in towards this side. Good trade to start it out. Coldamenta holding close still, only good for the one. The operator misses, and Tens might just have shown up when they needed him. 3 kills out of this young man. The problem is, even though they've ulted sight, they don't have spike. It's held up above by Nukia, waiting for Tens to come up the ropes.
Get out of here.
That is the spike retrieved, and what should be an easy plant, and a very difficult clutch out of Kellogg's. The position he's in, though, will they expect it? He's wrapped all the way through middle, come up behind them and be main. Sadly, he doesn't quite catch the jump on them. He'll have to give away his position pretty soon.
Yeah, they'll have worked it out by now. Yep. They're already clearing the back of the site. They've made it through to the spawn as well, and it seems like they have an incredibly good idea of where the last man of G2 is standing. Tens has exploded into the server, but can Kellogg's ruin it for the side of Sentinels?
घुस जाता हुआ तो कह रहा हूँ भाई तभी
not. Tens Tens goes from bottom of the scoreboard to top in one round, and who's surprised?
An ace out of this guy. We
Chalo
talked
bhai.
about
Sentinels ka second round.
Start in the previous map, and certainly a slow start here. He was the first to fall in the pistol round, and since then we haven't seen anything from him. He's just been shut down again and again. But in this round here, even though we see so much go G2's way in the early stages, they slap back with Tens. An ace out of him to put 2 on the board. Problem is, because so many of these rounds have been hard fought over on their side and not won for quite a while, they don't have cash. And Zombs and Sick both have to play with a Spectre. In fact, they nearly lose Tens again at the start of this round. And there was no res to bring him back.
Nuke kar raha hai, sorry, my bad.
Used all of their ultimates up into the last round as well, so there is nothing to play with other than the weaponry they have, which, as you just mentioned, is not exactly.
Mixwell ही कर रहा, Nuke के हाथ में कैसे चली दिख रही थी आप फिर? Nuke के हाथ में कैसे दिख रही थी भाई?
Seeing him back on the operator, it's like, wait, that's Mixwell? That's weird, but I'm very happy to see it again.
We went from Jet, we went over to Raze, and then obviously he swapped up quite a bit, but a reformed roster allows for these sort of things to happen. Sentinels sending a few
pulling damage.
That's where the spike is, but it won't be able to move all too far forward. They are using a lot of utility to keep them out. The lockdown surely going to be a big problem for them. In fact, Sentinels are rushing onto the site.
Whiff कर दिया भाई.
To get out the other side of it, and they will.
Oh,
they made it all the way through. Huge commitment from G2, and it sees practically no reward. The spike retrieved. Can Sick get out of there though? Oh no! Mixwell whiff, and that might just have given them the opening call. Not able to answer up when needed, and Nukia has to clutch it out.
1 versus 3, and he's not even going to get a second's notice. Sentinels are broken back, and again, we've seen a few ultimates now.
Silly wastage कर रहे हैं भाई, silly.
Them, but just getting swarmed on through heaven, and it will put them onto the board with 3. And as said, in the last round, G2 had a piece or 2 missing. They're going to take themselves a timeout, because the likelihood is in this round at least, they're not going to be able to do much at all.
Yeah, we don't expect to see a force buy out of these guys at this stage, but a timeout to figure out how best to allocate those resources. Defensive side pistols, you have so many choices. Do you hold the normal default and hope that the sheriffs that they presumably will buy up into are going to be enough to take those duels? Do you try to rush down a part of the map? And how are you going to use your Astra utility, for example, something that can be so instrumental alongside, for example, a nade out of Mixwell, which is a compositional choice that I absolutely adore. Seeing an Astra as well. And we've actually, so let me take this moment to say, in B Tower, we saw that there were 2 nanoswarms down and an Astra Star. They used the deeper molly first, the deeper nanoswarm, to try and get them to bait, often when you
ruining Barla's segment?
The edge of it.
Is that what you're doing?
Maybe.
Are you
G2 का time out है.
Pulls them
very
in,
selfish,
nanoswarm, it's a free kill. Just sadly, they didn't fall for it.
I'm sure Barla will find something better anyway, If you spotted it, then it's probably not that special.
Oh, yeah. Sean said, if my tiny brain can comprehend it.
Yeah, of course, If you saw it, then I'm pretty sure Twitch chat was just like, what's he talking about? That one was easy.
Obvious,
I saw that one 3 rounds ago. He just missed it.
So we had that timeout called in, and now we're going to be jumping into the game again. 10
Zam.
seconds left on the buy phase. And you see G2 are playing with mostly pistols. It's sheriffs and a frenzy. Not really going to be any ultimates committed, you would imagine, and this is where Sentinels should just be able to farm up cash.
Okay, Kellogg's going to be a little bit cheeky here. He's not baiting a shot out of Shazam. Again, though, although the ultimates are one-off for a couple of them, I feel like they need to find something first before anything comes through, and Sick is just going to farm up a couple of his own, leaving 3 players remaining. Now, 2 of them aren't going to be at least in the right spot, but they're just being every duel being won by the side of Sentinels. What started off as a scary prospect going into their map choice now starts to look, we do have to bear in mind, Mitch, they are on the attacking side of Split, and we put this map over at least a bit to the defensive side.
Most definitely. It's that ace out of 10s that's a huge turning point for the side. Now,
एक राउंड में गलती करी, राउंड जाने स्टार्ट हो गया. देखो.
Workable, especially if they can build on it from here. And the way things have been going, that seems like a probability more so than a possibility.
Yeah, this was a pretty nice round. A Prime Gaming flawless. We've spoken about both teams' economy so far in this matchup, and basically said that neither of them have really had perfect buys a lot of the time. So the fact that Sentinels have now been able to earn up those extra credits, chances are they'll have themselves at least a bit of a back burner in case this round does slip away from them. But with the purchase they've got coming in, I don't know. I'm getting a little bit worried for G2. I want to see a response.
Well, in that last round, they tried to push up in B main. Mixwell died, but even if he hadn't gotten a kill or died, he could have taken the ult orb to put that showstopper online. It could have been a difference maker in the previous round, and this time around, they'll hope that it's a difference maker now. Unfortunately, with a 3-man play towards the B side, more pretty conventional hold, G2 have stacked up the wrong side. They've used their wall early on A, but
इस वाली फैंटम में और ओनी में दोनों में स्प्रे का साउंड सेम है. नई वाली में ये तो प्रॉब्लम है, स्प्रे का साउंड बड़ा ट्रिगरिंग है. इसके लिए थोड़ा इशू होता है.
It is Kellogg's. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. It looks like he's trying to be a little bit sneaky, in fact, behind the screen that's been put down. Sick is actually trying to sell this as a fake, and they pulled a couple of rotations. In fact, 4 of the players were going towards B. The thing is, though, I think they've realized that it was just a fake. The Sentinels haven't really capitalized on the space they've been given just yet, and although it did initially move players out of position,
30 seconds
G2 is still hesitant.
They've really slowed this one down on the Sentinel side. It's surprising. 25 seconds left. Now they know Raze is here, and that means the showstopper is too. But with 20 seconds, they have no choice but to go. Here comes the showstopper. That's going to slow them down. In fact, it's going to make off tens. The difference maker in a lot of these rounds. 10 seconds left. They still have Avova on the site. They've walked right past him. Avova somehow connected that.
Avova ने दूसरे किल है ना स्प्रे में ले ली. ओह प्रीगी.
Is G2's a spectacular play on that site from Avova, but you have to ask yourself, what was the plan from Sentinels?
Yeah, I think they were just a little bit too hesitant in that round. Like, you look at the play that they made, and it was brilliant. Like, the initial start to that round of throwing...
मैं बोलता ना स्प्रे ट्रांसफर करा उसने वो बंदा मर गया.
Over on the other side of the map, pulled 4 players away. There was 1 already there, and the other 3 started rotating. They make the move then on towards the A site. I think they win that round easily. It would have only been Avova to defend it. The way he played in that round, though, was beautiful. Using his own cosmic divide to lock them out and force them to push through, and they just weren't able to clear him.
And the spray transfer he hit, and that first bullet is a headshot. He couldn't even see the guy. Just presumed, hey, someone else is going to be running through the wall soon, right? And he was certainly right. Huge 3K from him to put 6 on the board for G2. They're pushing up for 8, and if they can get there, it's still a decent half. Considering how things started, they won't be...
White peak पे बैठा कोल्डामेंटा, वो अच्छी peak है भाई.
What can you do?
Yeah.
So far, though, since then, you know, Tens has found it a little bit tough to really get in there, and hit by a showstopper in the previous round, that shut him down right in his tracks.
Again, it looks like
well divided.
For this heaven split. It's definitely been one of the successes that we've seen so far. The smoke will at least negate the turret. And Dapper is in a perfect position. They expect him, but they don't manage to find the trade's all right, but this works to spot out the lurk. So for the remaining players of G2, they can actually stack up B.
Tried to make a little jump above the wall, see if anyone was there. Down close is clear. There's a Lear back sight. They know where Nukia is, but they still haven't.
3 लोग हैं यहाँ पे, अच्छा क्रॉस फायर में मार सकते हैं. खा गया. फुंडामेंटल ले. Clocks खा गया. चलो भाई. चलो भाई. खत्म. टाटा. बाय बाय. खत्म.
And Sentinels, despite having plenty of ultis to use in this final round, they kind of need it. They want to push up to 5 ahead of the next half, especially with how the pistols have gone for them so far.
Yeah, no, so again, some good adaptations from G2. After losing mid control, they don't just sit static. They take some A control, give themselves the fact, okay, there's no one on this A site, so they can dedicate those other players in, and then it was just the crossfires. And that's something that I think, again, G2 have developed fantastically from even EMEA to now. It's just the interplay from these players has been so much better.
Final round of the half. Everything on the table. Tens
ये लेना चाहिए भाई.
with a Guardian.
4-8 होना चाहिए.
Look at what they have to work with over on that side. Tens can obviously go for his Empress.
खत्म. टाटा. बाय बाय. मिड ओपन है. या. ये. मिड ओपन से. उधर कोई नहीं देख रहा भाई. मिड इनका. ओ भाई क्या डमैस है ये. वो मिड में घुस जाता है यार. टेंस मिड में घुस जाता अगर भाई साहब हैं. ये तो गू खा रहे हैं भाई यार दिमाग से भी. मजाक से हटके कह रहा हूँ.
There's not really anything they can do about it. Even having the gravity well to try and pull them back here. Again, it's going to be this split onto the site as Nukia. The points, but it's a collab from Mixwell. He will come away with 2 kills, and it's left to Shazam trying to hold on.
Oh my god.
Another solid hold from G2 as they take the half 8-4.
great play by Sentinels at the start. They knew exactly what they needed to do when they lost 10s. They knew that the nade would be coming for them, so they make that split through mid. They start to pressure. As soon as the nade is heard, that's when the res comes through. They reset the round. They look for the push. And they find nothing. Mixwell with a huge galat at just the right moment to put 8 on the board. Now, Tom, we have got an exciting second half coming. This could be the first loss that Sentinels experience in a series internationally. But before we get into half number 2, we got to throw things over to the desk.
And boys,
चलो भाई
I am
टाइम आउट
Mitch and Tom. I'm curious
टाइम आउट पिटाई हो रही है
as well. Last time around on split.
भाभी जी क्या कह रही हैं?
But in Sentinels' favor.
Sen versus Iron 2.
G2 has once again flipped the script. They
अभी भी दिमाग ठीक नहीं हुआ.
8-4 in this one.
Yeah, it's pretty well. There are a lot of EU fans
Jesus
out there that
Christ,
are feeling
man.
very smug right now. So I had a message from a friend. I had a message from a friend of mine who is like, the hopium is a critical mass.
What's the new title gonna be?
Yeah.
I mean, it's exactly that.
I'm waiting in excitement.
Again, G2 started off hot, right? They were up 5-1. This is 3 out of 3 that G2 are on pistols in this series, so they're able to get that. Yeah, they didn't win the bonus this time around, but they've been able to really pile it on, work on that momentum. Nuke once again had a hot start, but the surprise for me has been Abova.
Absolutely, finding plenty of kills for himself on that Astra. Again, that is actually one of the agents that stayed the same between the split map from last time to now, and this time he's just finding his shots.
Well, I just think the way that G2's defensive setups have influenced where Sentinels have to play means they have so much information that they can hand over to.
अबोवा का भाई सच्ची बताऊं इस शॉट के बाद जिसने मारा था भाई ठीक हो गया भाई G2 हो गया भाई Sen versus G2 आ गई झुंड में आ गई भाभी जी झुंड में आ गई चलो ठीक हो गई लो चलो किसी ने बीसी भी डाल दी गाना बजेगा इसलिए मैं म्यूट कर रहा हूँ इसको फोर्ट महीने का गाना बज रहा है ओ माइना अबे दिखा दे क्या है ये इसने रिट्वीट करा है, देखो देखते हैं ये रहा G2 से ज़ॉम्स हाइलाइट्स भाई इसमें पिटाई हो रही होगी पक्का पिटाई हो रही है ज़ॉम्स की अच्छा मार रहा है थैंक्स फॉर वाचिंग ये किस की समझ में आया ये बताओ ये किस मतलब 3 लोग देख रहे हैं किस की समझ में आया ये बताओ बहुत जल्दी ये किस की समझ में आया इतनी बड़ी वीडियो है ये अब पॉज कर रहा हूँ मैं लिखा हुआ थैंक्स फॉर वाचिंग और क्या दिख रहा है तुम्हें इसमें ओए ज़ॉम्स के किलर मोन्टाज ये को स्टार्ट हुआ खत्म भी होगा थैंक्स फॉर वाचिंग ओली भाई ओ भाई भाई स्टार्ट हो गया लो
For now, at least, things are looking incredible. How did he get a headshot?
Oh, wait, damage कर दे.
Right down mid. The damage will be healed up on. That's the only problem.
It's given Nuke that little bit of extra HP. Now, he doesn't have any more of those, so you're not going to see him heal up once again. And the rest of the team are now looking to make their move.
अबे 2 मर गए इनके तो अबे मैंने देखा ही नहीं है 2 मर गए भैया टेंशन वाली बात है मौज नहीं हुई अभी भाई मामला खराब हो गया
Avova with 15 seconds left. This pistol has gone the way of Sentinels.
Yes, it most definitely has. Sentinels
भाई राइट क्लिक कर रहा है सुनो शज़ैम कर रहा है राइट क्लिक इतनी दूर से ठीक है एक लेफ्ट क्लिक फिर राइट क्लिक करना होता है इतनी डिस्टेंस से पहला लेफ्ट क्लिक करो पर इसे साफ दिखता है बंदा टेंशन में है प्रेशर में है कि मैं किल नहीं ले पा रहा साफ दिखता है भाई
make the comeback start now, just 3 away from G2.
This is again a round where we expect
1:15 आगे समझ में
pistols purchased up, a little bit more invested than you might normally see with the sheriffs on a couple of players from the side of G2. So they want to try and make this one as costly as possible, remove a few of those guns ready for the buy round. And on the other side, it's basically the same as what we saw in the last half. It's going to be Spectres across the board.
Pistols break the wall in the early
पूरी आवाज कर रहे हैं
you have to question how much
नहीं ढक दिया भाई ये तो मैं भी नहीं हकता यार कभी भी स्मोक को कुछ हो मेरे आगे
Coldamenta can do some damage. I'm looking at Nukia more so. That guy with the sheriff in hand. That's where things can get a little bit scary. And Sentinels have invested decently.
Just kidding, by the way.
Dapper. He's actually got a Phantom coming into round number 2.
ले मिल गई किल लेट्स गो सलाम खुश किल मिल गई भैया किल पूरी टीम पिक कर रही है भाई 4 के 4 नहीं यार किल मिलनी चाहिए वो बीमेन का पुश देख बीमेन का पुश नहीं है उसके पास स्पाइक इनके पास है भाई नॉर्मली डैपर है ना यहाँ से पुश कर रहा होता है भाई साहब पर तुम देख लो टीम की क्या सीन है भाई साहब ये देख यहाँ देख रहा है देख ऐसे में डैपर यहाँ पूरा घूम के आ जाता है भाई वो मारने को और एक से ही पुश आ रहा होता है सेंटिनल्स का ये स्ट्रेटजी होती है इनकी कि दबा के मारो पर इनकी कितनी चिरी हुई है ये देख लो इस टाइम कैसे खेल रहे हैं ये मजाक सेट के कहना ये बात में और इस देख लेना किसी भी मैच में इनका यार मिक्सवेल थोड़ा उल्टा सीधा खेल रहा है भाई सच्ची बताऊं ये विफ कर दिया इसने कोल्डामेंटा ने सिक्के तो गोलियां नहीं लग रही थी सेंटिनल्स प्रेशर में टू बी ऑनेस्ट सारे प्लेयर्स प्रेशर में और मिक्सवेल को थोड़ा आराम से खेलना चाहिए वो चोरी कर रहा है क्लोज लेफ्ट देख लेना भाई चालू हो गया भैया डैपर
but Dapper doesn't need any help. He's already picked up 3 and he stops them from crossing to the site. That wall broken instantaneously. What a hold from this man.
Baba Dapper is back.
Yeah, he looked a little bit less comfortable, I'd say, when it came to his Sova play on Icebox, but I don't think
कोई नहीं है भाई पूरी टीम रोटेट कर चुकी है. What the fuck?
Something we can expect to see in the next map as well if we do end up on bind, but Dapper just holding down a few crazy shots to connect and okay, Avova is on today.
भाई आदमी चीटिंग तो नहीं कर रहा.
The danger man at least in this round with 45 seconds there is still time for G2 to play with.
But if Calox goes down here, that's the spike on the floor, and he turns at just the wrong moment.
Timing देखो guys,
with godlike timing, putting it down. 30 seconds left in the round. Spike to be retrieved, and Sentinels are starting to set up to punish it. Avova strikes at the right moment. He has a read on Sick, and he's down 2. 3 kills for Avova, and he needs to find the 4th with 50 HP. He's made the right gamble, going for the A site where the plant will be his. But Zoms is looking a whole lot healthier.
उसको तो गर्मी नहीं है, गरीब पे.
Got to pull off. He can actually win the round, but that's a little bit much to expect. The plant coming in now, and we will have a 1v1 setup.
That's a fairly long rotation, and it gives time for a reposition. Avova almost has to take an off angle here, but Zoms...
नहीं समझिए भैया उस पे दूर से करना नहीं
and Zoms is going to close out the round. A big victory here for Sentinels. It might be looking like a almost back and forth in this one, but this was their bonus. This wasn't a full buy, and now they get, well, at least one weapon upgraded, and the victory, more importantly, taking them just one away.
Yeah, it really comes down to that. A poor start on the push through B. It looked great, but the fact that Dapper was able to get away with this many kills, the first is acceptable. What was that? I've seen it back now, and I still don't understand. And it's placing the snake bite down immediately.
टूर्नामेंट का गलत चला गया भाई इसके साथ बेचारे का कोई खड़ा होता ना राउंड जीत गया थे वाला.
That he either gets the kill for free or he gets another kill when they push on through.
But now, again, it's not going to be the biggest of investments. Avova can put maybe a bit more than others into this round just based off the amount of kills he managed to get, but realistically, the only thing they have is the Cosmic Divide, which Maybe it can get you a plant, maybe it can get you a little bit of space, but it's not an ultimate that on its own can win you a round.
Yeah, definitely. It's not, a lot of the time it's not an ultimate that does a lot for you in general. It's basically a smoke, right? Blocking off the one angle here or there. Sometimes allowing a deeper play. That is
nice one, bhai.
Shot. Tense needs to run. Caught between a snake bite and a nade. Shazam's taken down. Lear going out. They've got this site control, and there's nothing Sick can do with the Lear being up, but Zoms and Sick combine to take that double, shutting down the attempted push by G2 and making this next to impossible for them to get anything done, especially if Tans kept dragging like that. But with him falling, Kellogg's might have an opportunity, but he didn't expect that. How could you? Sick is just running at them, leaving a Vova to clutch again, and it will not happen. 8-8. A weak buy by G2. They get 2 kills. It's acceptable, but Sentinels are right back in this now as we tie it up.
Yeah, and we're starting to see the stars of the show really step up to the plate. Dapper at the top of the board, Sick and Tens just behind him. Like, these are the players that we know can take over this map if G2 let them, and well, they've already evened up the scoreline without having to have those massive pop-off rounds in the second half. So this is where we need to see the change from G2, because otherwise I could easily see them just closing this one out.
Yeah, most definitely. With the way things have been going right now, Sentinels started terribly, and they have
Dapper shot, हाँ वो प्यारा shot था भाई.
It was tough on the attack, but that was the point we made. When they swap over to the defense, you can see so much more going their way. And we haven't even really seen Shazam on that operator start to show up. And on this map in particular, he can do so much with that weapon when given the chance.
Yeah, like you'll see him basically lock down different portions of the map, different aggression over towards a ramp, maybe even the odd B peak, and I think middle is obviously going to be that personal favorite of his, but more importantly, they can even set up these more passive opportunities where you just have that A site on lock without any real rotations being necessary. So it's a big element to their play, definitely something that they use Tens to play off of as well, so it's a scary prospect, and for G2, well, we've seen them have a decent defensive half.
खेलेंगे next year देखे match.
Attack is going to match up, or if it's just going to be the same as what.
Hot हो गया यार.
I fully believe I went
Mixwell की एक दो राउंड बकचोदी रही है जिसके से हारे, वरना 10-6 हो रहा था उस टाइम.
Would be down like 10-2,
just like
6-10 होता.
Come on, like they would be 10-2 down, just like hey, don't worry, and they'd still bounce back and win it. That was the thing. But now at this roster, they seem to be much more heavily leaning in towards the tactical side. They want to take every advantage they physically can, and taking that pause right now, I couldn't agree more. This is such an important round for G2 to get on the board.
They're going to force Shazam off at least the early control, but
पहला गेम में भाई अग्रेसिव हैं ओके.
Falls back, the others start to push forward.
टेंस ने अल्ट मार दी, तीनों खत्म है.
The ability to dismiss out of this position if he is able to get
दिख
himself
गया
a
उसे.
frag, and they are looking to try.
मैंने सॉम पे फेंकना चाहिए ऐसे में.
The repeat will at least allow him to cross, but he does take a bit of damage on the way out.
Yeah, that Lear saved
Pulling कर देनी
चाहिए. They were just spraying away and hoping to catch him on the crossover. Still getting a little bit of damage in. As G2 quickly rotate to B. This could be huge. If I'm not mistaken, Sentinels have not taken the orb inside of B main. I can't see with the hood.
भैया उन्हें पता ही नहीं है.
There we go. This is a huge bait. They see that orb, they think there's no way so much.
ये बहुत बड़ी गलती करी. नहीं.
He's trapped in the corner though and taken down, and as Dapper tries to escape, he is pursued. Shazam eliminated in middle. Now the split comes to fruition. Mixwell's back online with the res, and Avova is on his way. He is creeping close. He's hearing the steps. He knows exactly where Dapper is. Avova good for one, but it's a trade out.
GG's there now.
Competitive Zoms has to make a big clutch happen. He's going to stop.
नहीं 1v2 है भाई, ये हराम ज्यादा है भाई, ये क्लच कर लेता है.
It's a little bit too deep. He was hoping that this was going to be a plant in for main.
गया.
But he still gets away with a frag. In fact, he has more HP than.
नहीं चूतिए.
He wins it out. 3 kills for Zoms. A massive clutch, and Sentinels take the lead.
जब आप हमेशा इस पे देखना, आप नीचे से देख रहे होते हैं ना ऊपर, वो बात अलग है. कोई पैनिक करके कोई भी कर सकता है. ऊपर वाला आपको ज्यादा अच्छा मारेगा, क्योंकि आपको एंगल देखना पड़ेगा कि आप रैफ्टर्स पे तो नहीं आपका एम जा रहा है या ऊपर तो नहीं जा रहा. और इतना सीनियर बंदा हो के ऐसे पीक दे रहे हैं तो बस फिर अजीब गरीब बात है. यानी कि हार का कारण बनेंगे ये राउंड. 3 राउंड बता रहा हूँ, तीसरा राउंड है जो उन्होंने ऐसे पीक करके बनाए ये G2 वाले.
It was Avova coming through mid that guaranteed it. He heard Dapper, he knew where he was, he was able to get the trade on the initial.
ये हार का कारण ये 3 राउंड बनेंगे, जो 2 राउंड मिक्सर ने बकचोदी करी और 1 राउंड इन दोनों ने बकचोदी करी है पीक करके.
For sure, especially because they had that surprise.
न्यूकर कोल्डा मेंटन है
actually dealt with a lot better than I thought they were going to. Like the
आई नहीं थी क्रॉस फायर में तो खेलते इजी विक्ट्री थी
devastating and it was actually just a 1-for-1 trade. For now though, this is where we get that operator. It may not be the best of rounds for G2, but even if they can take that out of the question, that would be nice.
Definitely would. We talked about the impact Shazam can have, and he's about to
Deagle वो खाएगा देख ऑप
there's the kill right away onto Coldamenta. He's going out for more, looking for a victim. The Lear popped up by his teammate. Confirms there's still a player on the left side at least. Tens wants to push on forward. It's all a bait for Kellogg's to try and catch a frag, and he does, but Shazam deals with him as well. Almost well too. 4 versus 2, pistols in play.
ये कहाँ पहुँच गया?
Control of the B site, and look at this massive rotate from Mixwell.
What the fuck?
Running through spawn. He might just be able to get on there for a plant. It's all down to Nukia though. How much can he get done? And a free kill. He can dismiss over there, confirming there's another player holding up in heaven. Dapper on his way through, but he'll get the kill. And now this is almost unwinnable for Mixwell.
If he gets a kill, he has the showstopper, but Dapper's not going to allow for anything more. There was just a moment where it seemed like G2 could maybe get something here, but a couple of kills back on the buy, and well, it has looked pretty clean so far on the defensive side for Sentinels. Not a single round lost.
G2 got a montage.
Sentinels wouldn't survive it.
Oh, yep. At least he got 2 kills to put in a montage.
I would argue they're only starting to get activated. They have all their ultimates online. Shazam's got that operator, and money's about to tip massively into their favor.
इतनी कुछ नहीं हगा है भाई, इन्हें चप्पलें पड़नी चाहिए मुंह पे G2 वालों को. हगा है, 3 राउंड हगा है, बेवकूफ. और थर्ड मैप जीत जाएंगे वो रीड कर लिया इन्होंने इनका गेम प्ले. बेवकूफ कहीं के. कुछ नहीं होने का, यू शुड रन से.
Sig is going to sit at the back, and he already has tens to support him, and there's going to be a rotation before anything can really be done.
Oh, it's a little bit shallow, but the spams get him in the end. Good kill to start. Wall across, and here comes the showstopper. Looking at the backside,
चलो.
again. The victim found by that rocket.
बकचोदी की पिकर अभी भी ली तो भी हारेंगे. चलो.
Doing his best to keep this one alive, but
चलो जी, अब तो जीत जाओ भाई. 1v4 है.
Clutch situation, but he won it out last time, managing to get a near impossible clutch on the board. This time around, things aren't looking nearly as doable.
And that's the one interesting thing about this.
भाई Zons भी खब्बा है.
6 rounds in a row, you're thinking Sentinels must be rolling in it. So much cash.
अच्छा इनका FOV गलत है. मैं कह रहा हूँ ये लेफ्टी है क्या? अच्छा अच्छा कैमरे की वजह से दिखा रहे हैं.
Do I do that? Well, that's not the case. I think one of them had about 5,000 credits, but they had a lot of rebuys in some of these rounds. You had the
FOV उल्टी दिखा रहे हैं इनकी. Clocks right ही दिखा रहे हैं, जबकि Clocks लेफ्टी है.
Oh dear, they've actually lost the operator as well. Him getting shut down by G2 is a pretty big deal because well, I'm waiting to look at the credits.
Mixwell's keeping the operator as well. They're going to try to use it on the attack side. And yeah, Tom, I agree with you. At least off memory, the credits are pretty poor for Sentinels right now. Look at this. How many times is Tan's going to get this unlucky? I mean, he has been hit by every showstopper, it feels like. Except the ones that were used to delay, of course. The zoning ones.
10-9, let's go. Clocks कर रहा है opening.
Just about scrape a buy together. They've got utility, but some players are having to play.
Ulti Shazam उड़ेगा क्या हवा में? ये पे नहीं भैया. हाँ उड़ेगा देखना. What the fuck? Packs हो गया packs. Packs हो गया दोबारा से. वो revive करेगा. Packs हो गया packs. Packs Fuchs.
Again, we find ourselves in a 2v2, but G2 do get the res off.
Yeah, it looks like
Sig might be
able to do the same. It's a risk, but he's going
Tazi boy को. Tazi boy, Suji boy. पीछे तो देखो, खा जाएगा भाई ऑफ से. अरे लॉन्डा बहुत अच्छी ऑपिंग करता है यार क्लब्स. उसने लास्ट मैप पे प्रूफ कर दिया ये बात. भैया प्रूफ कर दिया भैया ये बात लास्ट मैप पे. जो मारे हैं उनने वेंचर खिंचा खिंचा के.
So they could try and take a risk through the utility. I also just think these are the sort of rounds they need to be going.
जी प्रो पे मैं खेलने का मन मेरा भी है भाई साहब. एकदम क्लिक दबाओ भाई साहब सुर.
It's the operator as well, right? The one that was saved over by their opponents. Kellogg's was gifted this by Zoms towards the end of the last round, and now he uses it to pull off a 4K. They have got to be kicking themselves as they now find themselves on pistols.
ये पीक देख रहा हूँ, पीक बड़ी सही है.
We'll just be healed back up for the most part.
I do love the idea that if no one else is going to hype up Kellogg's...
₹2 की Pepsi ये पीक है sexy.
Damn sure of that.
Oh, I'm nasty.
Oh, you gotta do it. You gotta let them know. Well, coming up against pistols, though, this is gonna have to be a very...
Zoms अकेला है.
You would love to come in and just start rolling around, trying to win duels, trying to ego
Toxin screens
at the same
gone.
time, Sentinels are still dangerous when they have these pistols, and we have seen it again and again.
Tens forward आया मरेगा. इस पीक पे मरेगा Tens.
Nothing at all. This team is still as dangerous as any. We're gonna see a slow push.
भाई रोटेट हो गए वो लोग. What the fuck?
They could actually get themselves the lockdown and play this one incredibly safe.
वॉप लगा के बैठा है. Imagine delay ना होता और कोई फोन करके बता रहा होता भाई रोटेट हो गई वो, भागो 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 भागो. भाई G2 भी भागो, G2 भी जा रही है. ए पे स्टैक करके बैठे हैं वो. भाई जाओ, फोन कर रहा हूँ. क्लॉक जल्दी घुसो. बी पे कोई नहीं है बेटा, जाओ जल्दी.
Imagine Mixwell blast packs into A like that, like he did in the previous round. He gets crushed, but they make the right.
बी कर लेना भूतनी के.
And now this should be an easy.
साइड क्लियर.
Sentinels have a lot of danger.
आवाज आ रही होगी उनके. अब आएगी. भागो, प्लांट हो गया मैच की आंख. चोमू बन गया हमारा. भागो.
It's so much harder to find favorable fights.
भागो, ये तो हम चमन चूतिए बन गए. Holy shit भाई. कोच बोलेगा एक बात ध्यान रखना, ये बेटी चोत के इको में है ना, बहुत जल्दी रोटेट करते हैं. क्या पीक लगा रखे ने. सेक्सी खोपड़ी खोल शॉट. मिक्सल देख किल के लिए. अरे इको फ्रैगर बेटी चोत पीछे आ जा. आराम जादे. आखिरी ये मरेगा. वो डीगल खाएगा देखना. हक दिया जॉन्स ने. हकता नहीं है जॉन्स वरना ऐसे शॉट. भागो बेंचद. ए वाले कह रहे हैं भागो बेंचद. बी पे प्लांट हो गया भाई. वो के किस किल. डू बी सेइंग आफ्टर दिस मैच I want the fucking jet next time. I won't be playing any Sentinel और क्या कहते हैं एक्स्ट्रा. क्या है एक्स्ट्रा? सेंटिनल है ना? नहीं इनिशिएटर. स्मोकर है ना शायद. इनिशिएटर होगा.
I'm sorry.
Yo, maybe I'm trying to be a friend. NA, look at the credits G2. Well, you can't say it, but G2 have a lot of credits. Just trust me on that one. They are stacked up pretty high. Sentinels need to win this one on that operator. We've seen the impact before. It's a win.
अरे ऑपरेटर लगा रखी है मियां. मत जाना मुसलसल. अमूमन बेखौफ ज़्यादा बेहाल और विला कोत हो जाएगा मिड पे. टेंस और बहन्स दोनों बैठे हैं. चलो भागो एंचो दे पे भागो. अरे चलो नाइफ घुमाते हुए. ये मैं पहले जब मैंने देखा है नाइफ मुझे पसंद आ गया. फिर मैंने देखा, मैंने कहा मजा नहीं आया. थू तौबा सारा मूड खराब कर दिया. You should run. अब ए वाले कह रहे हैं भागो बेंचो. You should run लगा दी इनने तो. मिक्सवेल घुस गयो. नेट मार देना चूतड़. बॉल भी नहीं है वहां तो. क्या भैरंड रेज है भाई. गाली देता हूँ अभी. रेज मत ले ली साले. आज से मार दिया. क्या टट्टी नेट मारा भाई. केलॉग्स अब अपने आप को कैसे उठाएगा भाई. अरे भैया ये तो हैक कर रहा है भाई पक्का.
Try and sneak their way through it on the other side. It's disordered. He's blocking him on the other side. And over again.
भाई क्या स्ट्रेटजी है.
These cosmic divides to ridiculous effect.
The fuck?
Sentinels can do absolutely nothing, and it's left on to Shazam. Although he finds two, there will be no more. And I think it's fair to say Avova is the king of the cosmic divide.
That man is just unbelievable on the A side with this stuff. He's literally.
भाई उसकी गन भी नहीं गई उसके आर पार भाई. उन्हें लौंडे रोक के बैठा है वो. मार ही नहीं सकते भाई. क्या लगा के बैठा दिमाग भाई आदमी.
How happy can this man be? The whole team of G2 roiled up now as we come in.
अब G2 कह रही है सेंटिनल्स को भागो बेंच.
looking to be dethroned for the first time at an international event.
चलो टाटा, बाय बाय, बाय, हैव अ नाइस डे।
versus Sentinels, but it's a completely
वैसे
different
तमीज से खेल ले राउंड, वरना गालियां इतनी मैसेज करूंगा अभी तुम्हारे को, इसकी कोई हद नहीं।
Yeah, sure. People will put caveats on.
इमेजिन मैं 10-12 देख लो और 12-12 हुआ पड़ा है वहाँ पे बर्लिन में।
Within the G2 camp.
12-12 छोड़ो, नेक्स्ट मैच स्टार्ट हो गया जी। हाँ जी, हक दिया मिक्सवेल की बकचोदी की वजह से। इमेजिन मेरा है फेस कैम चल रहा है, पूरी बकचोदी चल रही है भाई, ओए अलग स्वाद। अब ये देखेंगे बीच में ऑफ लगे बड़े पागल बेंच, क्लॉक चला रहा है टेंस का पापा क्लॉक्स।
The operator's not there. In fact, there's only 2 Vandals, right? Spectres all around and so much pressure on Zoms. This man has had retake after retake.
Zoms की तो सुताई होने वाली है भाई साहब।
The solo
भागो, सिक भागने के कगार पे। ए जाओ ना, जाओ ना, यहाँ पे ना कोई रैम्स में। बगागा आजा बेटी चोत, कोई नहीं है। उठा दे इसे भाई, क्या आदमी क्लॉक्स भाई। ये तो ये चॉकलेट फ्लेवर के क्लॉक्स चोकोस खा के आया है। उठा उठा होली बकचोदी मत करे। अरे चूतिया डीगल क्यों? अरे नहीं भाई नहीं, मैं कह रहा हूँ बकचोदी मत करे, एम कर ले भाई। पक्का भाई नहीं, अगला मैप खेल रहे होंगे इस टाइम दोनों टीमें। साले खब्बे उल्लू के पट्टे, फ्रेंच टोस्ट नहीं खाया आज।
And it has to go, as you said, once again. A great opportunity there for G2 to close out the series, but it isn't done just yet.
Kicking the teeth that he had a sheriff. Hey, it's returned over. He had a sheriff. God. If that was a classic, if he had a little bit more ammo.
भाई नेक्स्ट मैप खेल रहे हैं इस टाइम, मैं पक्का बता रहा हूँ तुम्हें। मैं हरकतें बता देना, चूतियां हैं, जीतते नहीं चाहते G2 वाले ने, शो ऑफ में ज्यादा टाइम वेस्ट करना है। नहीं करना था भाई, क्यों तेरे को डिगल निकालनी है? 13 HP है, वो कूदता कूदता पीछे चला जाए बेटी चोत, टाइम वेस्ट करवा उसका चोमू। फेक बंदूक के फेंकता रहे, चेंज करता रहे, टाइम वेस्ट करवा उसका चमनलाल त्रिपाठी। ये कह रहा है भूतने वाले क्या कर रहे हो, तुम्हें जीतना नहीं क्या? सालों घर जाओगे सीधा। क्लॉक्स बेटी चोत ये करने के लिए क्या रहते, चौकोस नहीं खाए ठीक से। भाई इसकी 96,000 वाचिंग आ रही है सिर्फ ये देखने के थ्रो Z2। हीरो औकात से बाहर आ गई तुम्हें, अभी ठीक हो गई थी, अभी हीरो औकात से बाहर आ गई भाई। इसका बॉयफ्रेंड सही है, ये भी सही है, मतलब टॉक्सिक नहीं है, बट ये डैपर सिक थोड़े ज्यादा अंग्रेज के चमन बनते हैं ना, बड़ा अजीब गंदा लगता है यार। एक लिमिट में रहना चाहिए आपको। अब हरकतें ऐसी करोगे तो ठीक नहीं। हाँ सारी 90 गोलियां चला दे, खत्म कर दे, पिस्टल से लड़। शॉटगन खेल रहा है सजाम, ये दिन आ गए सजाम के। मिक्सर मर गया बाय द वे, गुड नाइट। इस हरामजादे कुत्ते की वजह से तो बहुत राउंड गए हैं इसकी वजह से। ये है वो, ये सुअर, ये देख लो। ये सिक्का भाई साहब एक किल लेते ही आ जाएगी। यू विल नॉट किल माय एलाय, जंप पीक लेना बेटी को। अबे खत्म करो, नहीं देखना नेक्स्ट मैच में, खेलने का मन कर रहा है मेरा। भाई न्यूक की पोजीशन बहुत प्यारी है, ओली शिट भाई, मजाक सेट किया भाई, सुपर सेक्सी सैक्सी पीक है भाई, सैक्सी। हाँ कई के लड़के हैं ना तेरे वहां, तो तू भूतनी के बैठा रहेगा, कोई नहीं कुछ कहेगा। न्यूक की गेम है भाई, पूरी न्यूक की गेम है। मैं तो कह रहा हूं थोड़ा सा और होल्ड कर। ठीक है, सैक्सुक सूदिया फाड़ो हो गया, स्पाइक उनके पास है, साथ में घुसो, लेके स्पाइक भी ले गए। अब ये कह रहे बाय, हैव अ नाइस डे, हम तो जा रहे हैं स्पाइक प्लांट करने, ये कह रहे भागो मैं हेंचोद।
They're going to get this spike down. No res for Sick unless he finds a kill. And when they get to the
प्लान कर
this is huge. G2 have avoided a massive landmine. And now they just need to hold on in the...
ये आदमी एक और उठा के एक जने को उठा के अपने साथ में ले जा सकता था, बताओ। चलो
The players that need to clutch this out and they've both had their rounds. Dapper in this one alone.
एग्रो खेल रहे हैं भाई सीटी। अबे बी मेन तुम्हारा मामा देखेगा, चाची का लौंडा देखेगा।
Aim duels on both sides of the coin. The time is so low. They need to make a move. They need to find a kill soon. Find some space. Sick is taking down.
ये डैपर तो भाई साहब पकड़ के बैठ गया।
Halfway at least, ready to take the fight up above. And Coldament is shut down.
जाओ भूतनी के।
But they push at just the right moment. 13-11. G2 have won the series, and Sentinels are dethroned. At long last, G2, the Kings are back, and this is their town.
Truly unbelievable. We have never seen this team lose on LAN, and finally, someone has managed to.
भाभी ने क्या लिख रखा है?
Heartbeat in my ears. I'm so stressed out.
सो जाओ फिर, दिमाग मत खाओ।
One of the most unbelievable matches I think we've ever seen. We're gonna get some celebrations.
G fucking G.
I don't even think they know what to do. Like most teams are gone. Right, I've got my little pride. You're gonna do the wheelbarrow, and I'm gonna move you around. And on G2 went. Did we just win? What do we
plan for this?
Yeah, like we did. Like what do you even do at this point?
I imagine they're just as gobsmacked as we are. Sentinels have never lost a series. G2 gave them the smacking of their lives over on the previous map. 13-3, something that Sentinels have never experienced. They've had that one map loss like that, as Yinsu told us, up against 100 Thieves. And since then, they have looked impeccable on an international scale, on a national scale, and now they fall. We knew a time would come that they'd lose a series at a LAN event. I just didn't think it would be G2 to do it.
No, and I think that's my main takeaway. Like, I know there's going to be a lot of people, probably from North America, maybe named Van Silly, who are going to be sat there going, this is a feeding match. But I don't want to take away whether or not, okay, this was sent a little bit, whatever. I want to look at it from G2's perspective. They didn't crumble. They looked impeccable. Individually, they've looked fantastic. They've shown depth on agents that we weren't sure they'd be playing. We got Mixwell switching back over to a Raze. I didn't expect to see that on this tournament. We've had a Vova, truly unbelievable. Used Divide twice in the same way.
अब देखना मैं लिखूंगा। रुक जा।
We've had unbelievable matches from Kellogg's, who was the biggest question mark we had coming into this tournament, if he was going to be as good as we know he could. And now they've done it versus Sentinels. And even if it's Sentinels, maybe not at their peak, you are still taking down a team that has never lost on LAN before.
I have to say, G2 took out their check. Well fucking played away. The start wasn't exactly what we expected.
Adidas के स्पॉन्सर हैं इनका, Adidas के जूते पहन रखे हैं सबने, देखो।
And they didn't get the results right away, but they didn't give up either. They kept at it. They pushed on forward, and now here is the reward. G2, the first team to beat Sentinels, and it's 2-0.
एक दूसरे की तरफ उंगलियां कर रहे हैं। उंगली बार मत बनो भाई।
All the rounds played out on that last map, and you can see the joy in Mixwell's face. As finally, after months and months of grinding, G2 are back on top. After months and months of grinding, G2 are back on top.
And the funny thing now is, after this series is done, there's going to be teams in other groups going, wait, so my choice is now a G2 that's just being Sentinels.
Clocks or by Nuke, by पूरी टीम बहुत बड़े खेली है यार। Well deserved by victory.
So, honestly, what a game, what a match,
unbelievable, really. And I came in.
Proud कहाँ है? G2 EU बहुत करता था ना? आजा, online नहीं आया बेटे आज।
I mean, okay.
Can we his pickings, please? I think this man, he's got the biggest brain in esports.
आवाज नहीं आ रही भाभी जी। कुछ तो बोल लो। बच्ची ऑन स्क्रीन क्या कह रहा है, इसकी सुनते हैं।
G2. The adaptations versus F4Q the second time around, they looked unbelievable. And right here
They're
against
not out.
Sentinels,
No.
it
They're
felt
both
like
through.
even when we look at the round where Sentinels had pistols and they rotated into position, they made the right call, but G2 didn't fall into the trap. It felt like they were familiar with this opponent now. And this is what happens when you give G2 time to really grow and when Carlos gets his checkbook out.
Do you know what's even scarier? I just thought about this. Someone is now going to have to face off against Sentinels that have just lost a series.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to come back and go, so
Oh,
all of
shit.
our weaknesses have
Yeah,
just
I didn't
been
think about
spotted.
that.
Now we're going to fix all of that team is screwed. I'm sorry, whoever gets
Oh, no.
Sentinels in the draw is screwed. Sorry.
गाने चला रहे थे पहले
F4Q, so I feel bad for those guys as well.
You want to know the best part about it is the fact that when you look at Sentinels as they are right now, this guarantees G2 take top seed. So Sentinels are going to be second seed, presumably playing against a first seed team. They'll be like, hey, we got the easier match. We topped our group. Who you playing? What?
Big brain EMEA. See, that's what it was.
There you go.
They knew
that's
all
what
along.
it's all about. Shout out Vance. He didn't believe, but now he pays. You know what, Tom? That's enough from us. An absolutely monumental series for us here. Let's take one more look at it in the Prime Gaming post-match.
From moment to moment, we can have that respect as we step on stage, but as soon as we get behind the desks, we are fierce competitors, and we will let you know that every step of the way, and respect is earned.
न्यूक तो भाई मतलब न्यूक ने आई थिंक ये स्ट्रेटेजी इन्होंने बनाई थी न्यूक ने कि भाई मैं तो इसके पीछे पड़ा दूंगा टेंस के पीछे क्योंकि न्यूक उसी को टैकल कर रहा था बार बार भाई पूरी गेम उसने उसको टैकल किया भाई बहुत प्यारा खेल यार ये तो वेल फकिंग डिजर्व भाई बहुत प्यारा चलो अब हम भी खेलते हैं एज अ कोच बहुत ज्ञान छोगली एडवाइजर थोड़ा हम भी हग लेते हैं 12:30 बजे अभी तो यार सोना तो है मेरे को पर
If you get better opportunity, will you leave VLT? Depends on how much better the opportunity is. I don't mince my words. If I'm good enough, firstly, and I get an offer from a team like Sentinels, right? I will leave, and I think anybody in my team would as well. It has nothing to do with who I did.
ये लगभग चोरी करते रहते हैं चैट में लौंडे कोई हमें बुला रहा था वो कौन मान भाव थे गाय यार इस मैच में कल मैं डीसी हो गया यार भाई बहुत गंदा डीसी हुआ एक वार्म अप करते हैं फैक्सी वार्म अप दिल का दरिया बह ही गया इश्क पारत बन ही गया तुझको मेरे एक चीज कर रहा हूँ मैं आजकल ये देखो नहीं रुक जाओ स्मोक तो करो और एकदम डैश ऐसे ये कई सिचुएशन में काम आ सकता है इसलिए मैं इसको कर रहा हूँ आजकल और मुद्दा ये मेरी दोनों कीज है ना कीबोर्ड पे हैं ये वाली तो इसमें थोड़ा सा मिसमैच हो जाता है क्योंकि कीज आजू बाजू ही हैं और एक ही उंगली से मेरे को प्रेस करनी है और वो है मेरा थंब क्योंकि सी और वी
blocking sight. Blocking sight. What's this? What's this?
एक वन मोर डेथ मैच फिर हम गेम खेलेंगे। हाथ एकदम है ना, एकदम नैरो रख के खेलने में थोड़ा फायदा है, बट उसके लिए आदत होनी चाहिए वैसे, वरना बड़ी दिक्कत होती है यार। वो ट्राई कर रहा हूँ मैं आदत बनाने की। मतलब मेरा पहले ना हाथ है ना ऐसे रहता था, बिल्कुल आगे बिल्कुल आगे, ये चलती थी बस मेरी रिस्ट। मैं क्या है ना आर्म से खेलना चाहता, ये हाथ मोड़ना पड़ता है पूरा आर्म। इससे आदत फुल्ली बनानी है मेरे को। एक मिनट रुक जाओ, कौन कौन से यूज़ नहीं करने क्रॉसहेयर इसमें से। 10 ये वाला यूज़ कर रहा था शायद। हाँ 422 है, 423 है, 423 है। अगर 22 करेंगे तो वो यूज़ कर रहा था न्यूक, ये वाला 222। बट उसकी लाइन आउटर लाइन फुल थी ना।
Sight. What's this? What's this? What's this? What's this? What's this? What's this? What's this?
उत्तर से दक्षिण पहुंच गया मेरा हाथ इसे मारने के चक्कर में। इन एंड आउट ये मैंने बनाया है भैया, थोड़ा इन एंड आउट करता हूँ मैं। ये मेरा इन्वेंशन है, ऐसे बैठे बैठे। हैशटैग तो तुम लोगों को याद होगा, ओजी हैशटैग। थोड़ा छोटा करा है बस मैंने इसे। ग्रीन ब्लैक है तो अपना वो हो गया, हैशटैग ये भी हो गया। इसको क्या करें हम प्रॉड। ये भाई साहब ये है, ये फैंटम का क्रॉसहेयर है। मुझको क्या हुआ है हमारा क्लासिक क्रॉसहेयर। ची ची नशे से चढ़ गया, नशे से चढ़ गया, पतंग से उड़ गया, तेरी पतंग उड़ गई। हार्ड पे कर लेते हैं एक बारी, गाने चलाए जाएं थोड़े से। You are love, you I found you. एक सेकंड पैकेट लास्ट। डेफो बंदा भी बहुत अच्छा खेलता है बच्चा वो। डिफो जो उसमें खेलता है गैम्बिट में, वो अच्छा खेलता है। फिट क्यों नहीं गिर रहे? लाल दुपट्टा उड़ गया रे मेरी हवा के झोंके से।
Match found. Deathmatch. Warm up.
The fuck? यार 55 का क्यों भाई हेडशॉट क्यों नहीं मार पाया मैं?
I got your backs.
हाँ भाग रहा साढ़े.
You know, from the front.
Fight.
Keep up. Yikes.
पैन देखो. ठीक है भाई. ये कर लो पहले. मुंह में घुस जा. आदमी गाने भी सुन रहा है उसमें भी मुंह में घुस जा. ये बड़ी आदत है क्रॉस करने की. मरता है. क्या बेशरम आदमी है ओमन. भाई क्या गंदा है मैं भाई तेरा. आजा. हाँ क्या गंदा है मैं मेरा है 140. आवाज कम कर लो. आवाज कम. मैं जहर खा रहा हूँ भाई साहब मुसलसल. अमून बेखा होता था बेहया लाहौर भी लाख हुआ तभी के भी. तीन लौंडे मुझे देख रहे हैं. क्या क्या ही हो रहा है भाई. Timing bro, what the fuck bro.
Poison's gone. Who?
हाँ घुस तू ओमन घुस तू घुस. मैं अंडे टके.
Stay down. See ya.
100p. स्काई का क्या शराब है भाई. अच्छा भाई. हाँ कल्ले की चोरी पहन दे टके. तेरी है ऐसी की तैसी. क्या बोल रहा हूँ मुझे भी नहीं पता. भाई 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 भाई. लॉन्डे भाई साहब एम लैब्स गेम लैब्स छेम लैब्स सब कर गए हैं.
One down.
हेड टैप खा बेबी. भाई किल ली. ओह मुझे लगा मर गई. I started moving. साले क्राउच कर
3
डोंट सांस लेने दो भाई मैं भी इंसान ही है ठीक है भाई नाचते खेलते हंसते पीटते I got the pictures on no.
Dominating.
Boom. Skilling में आजा आइयो पिक कर जरा तेरी समलैंगिक गन है ना ये सबको मार दूंगा मैं ऐसा रीलोड भी नहीं करना पड़ा इसने का
3
एक ही स्प्रे में निपटोगे तुम सारे चल तू बच गया
Kills remaining.
देखो अब दिखाओ कुछ नहीं करना भाई अब देखो आ जा अंदर
Five kills remaining.
Oh! वहीं बैठ जा बेटी चोद मैं तो अनइंस्टॉल का बटन दबाऊंगा
1 kill remaining.
नहीं खेलना डेथ मैच फॉर्म पे खेलना था भाई Don't you love me? Don't you love me, baby?
Death match. Warm up.
नाच ले भाई कदरिया क्लिक मारना था पक मैन ओके जा मेरे को आप कर रही है शादी अरे भाई पलिंग
I'll teach them to respect their elders.
Fight.
Safety's off. Taken down. Who trained you? Sorry, kid.
हाँ ठीक है भाई कल आता हूँ नाम एक नाइफ है हाथ में खेलन दो किसी को स्विच करने दो क्यों दिक्कत आ रही है तो उसके हेड पे आई गई थी बस चाहता क्या है भाई आदमी? चढ़ने मत देना, मोटापा रखा मेरे कैरेक्टर को। हाँ खड़े खड़े को इसके शॉट नहीं लगते, मैं इसकी यहाँ मेरे को मार रहा है।
Fire's out. Sorry, kid.
Heck or what?
That's 3.
ऊपर आजा भाई, क्या लैग है ये?
Sorry, kid.
ऑफ चले गया उसकी, मेरे को पता है ना, मुझे नसीब का सबको पता होता है भाई।
Enemy down. Down you go.
अरे शिट, चलता हूँ भाई। गुड नाइट ब्रो, गुड नाइट, गुड नाइट, गुड नाइट, स्वीट ड्रीम, चेक केयर, स्टे हेल्दी, स्टे सेफ। एक बार ये करते हैं, आ जाओ। टाइमिंग
Down and out. Goner. Right between.
भाई आदमी है क्या है? नहीं दे रहा। Give me get you down. Give me some. I know it.
Fire's out. Gotcha.
ब्रो नहीं मरना था इससे। अरे मुझे लगा डबल डोज गया साला। एक हेडिंग और मेरी सारे क्रॉस से मिल गया उसको।
Dominating.
भाई क्या सेंसियस आदमी की कैसे हिला वो? मत करो आरएनजी, मत करो, मेरा मूड खराब हो गया, रो पड़ोगे भाई। मत करो आरएनजी।
10 kills remaining.
निकलते ही खुशबू में तेरे घर से निकलते।
See ya.
कहाँ से ऑफ चला रहा है वो? पीछे से नोबड़ा।
Five kills remaining.
chalo.
One kill remaining.
मर जा हरामजादे. जेट पे फोकस था यार. देखन कहां था. आगे से भी मारो, पीछे से भी मारो, दाएं से भी मारो, बाएं से भी मारो. कूजा ब्रो.
Hey, not half bad.
So leveling the area. Bro, Jesus.
Match found.
हमारे पास 5 चाकू हैं. और अब बॉयज गाइस मैं लॉक कर रहा हूँ बिकॉज़ आई नीड टू पी. कोई लॉक मत करना यार. एक मिनट. आया मैं गाइस.
Reloading. Turret out. Placing sentry.
Hello.
Pulling them in.
player standing.
सोआ के पास लाइन है.
Jeez, I love your boom style, my girl.
कौन में? अरे नहीं, उसने नीचे अंडर हेवन ये किया ना.
Reloading.
I have this fight mid.
घुसो घुसो ए पे चलो.
स्मोक चला गया. जेट घुस.
Enemy spotted mid.
केजे.
Last player standing. We have plenty of time, oh. Here and now. Be here and now. Here. Here. Here.
We got to bury that teleporting ghost.
Obscuring
अब तो ठीक
vision.
है. स्मोक में स्पेस है ब्रो. ब्रो हेल्प मिड पे आ जाओ मेरे भाई.
Reloading.
एक जना मार्क को था.
Take them out.
Satchel out.
एक यहाँ पर है मार्केट में. केजे.
कहाँ जाना है बोलो जल्दी. ए पे चलना है. चलो ए पे आ जाओ.
सुबह है.
आ जाओ पीछे से आ जाओ.
तुम लोग डर क्यों रहे हो? एक जगह एग्जीक्यूट करो ना साथ में.
With blocking vision. Careful.
अंडर हैंड मार देना ब्रो. ना सॉन्ग कोई इशू है तो.
Reloading.
वो बी पे मिड पे प्लांट.
30 seconds left.
फ्लैंक देख लेना ब्रो. दो जने साथ में मिलके.
Alarm bot out.
स्ट्राइक पे डाल दो.
Storm grenade. One enemy remaining. Really?
Hey, wonder.
Reloading. Reloading. Right
क्रॉस
there.
फायर किलो. ऐसा वॉच शॉट. हेवन.
All right, I did.
यार मिड टू भी बोला था ना मैंने. चलते ना साथ में.
हाँ चलो कॉल दे दो यार बस.
मैंने बोला तो मिड टू भी करते हैं लास्ट राउंड. कोई आया नहीं भाई.
चलो.
Bro, I was with you. I took the jet kill. I gave KJ 114 and Sova 80 minus, bro.
Can you drop? Killjoy?
Turret out.
Concealment. Concealment.
90 सोवा शॉट। क्या भाई कैसे मर गया मैं इससे? गोबर पे रेज ऑन मिड। मारो राइट मारो।
One enemy remaining.
Jet can lurk from B man. Clear B man.
B man? हाँ तू वही देख, काय वही देख। हाँ ओपे ओपे।
इसको रश करो यार, उसको रश मारो। दो लोग साथ में जाओ। चल जाओ उसके मुंह पे चढ़ जाओ। हायर मिड है। फ्लैश भाग रहे हो आप, कैसे कर रहे हो? हायर मिड ही है ब्रो। रेस सैचल करके जाना उसके ऊपर।
Satchel out.
ए
मेन पे होगा वहीं होगा।
रहने दे
उसको पकड़ो नहीं मार दोगे।
Everyone note down your observations, then let's run it again.
No time.
Bro, he was 115 bro.
Bro मिला ही नहीं वो। मैंने सैचल मारा था लेकिन वो कायो को टकरा गया।
ए शॉट पे स्मोक करो, ठीक है?
Push forward, Chale.
Don't be. Let me check where is the operator, okay?
Wait.
Knife deployed.
ए शॉट पे स्मोक ब्रो।
Variable remove.
स्मोक दे दे शॉट पे यार।
अंदर चल तू देख।
Bro, I was hopping bro mid and he killed me from the shot.
आ जाओ। चल plan.
Get out of my way. Spike planted.
Nice.
Blocking vision.
Oh.
Last player standing.
Save.
Bro,
Why
didn't
you get smoke on a shot, bro?
Bro, I gave smoke a shot, bro.
Bro, there wasn't any smoke. What do you mean, bro? I can give you the screenshot if you want. You didn't give any smoke on a shot, bro.
I gave him an a shot smoke.
Where? Mark on the map kindly. Did you smoke here, bro? I wanted here, bro. I was watching mid bottom. This.
That was not a shot. That's cat.
चलो आराम से भाई जाने दो, मार्क कर ले कहाँ चाहिए थी। इको करना है।
What's this?
Can you heal? अरे भाई आ गए यार, मेरे पास फैंटम है।
Spike down B. Last player standing.
Omen low.
Jet low.
One enemy remaining.
Nice.
Lock inside. No charges left. I got the spike.
Back. Ooh, nice try.
He wasn't low. I tagged him 50.
Bro, he was 101.
Bro, I'm sending you the screenshot right now. Tell me your Discord.
AGB देखे बोल तो
50 मारा मैं भाई, वो अपने लगा पड़ा है पहले राउंड से।
भाई तुम तो अलग ही हाइपर मोड में हो भाई।
नहीं हाइपर मोड में नहीं हो ब्रो, हाइपर मोड में नहीं हूँ मैं, झूठ बोलूंगा। मैंने ओमन 50 मारा, एक नाइफ में मर गया वो। 150 केजे मारा मैंने हेडशॉट। जेट को 50 दिया ब्रो, ही वाजंट लो।
धीरे
उन पे कोई हीलर भी नहीं है।
चल अंदर चल
मैं जाऊंगा अंदर भाई, टेंशन मत ले। बेटर जेट नहीं हूं मैं। शॉर्ट टॉपिंग कर रहा है वो, और वो शॉर्ट है मेरे भाई।
पिक मत कर।
रेस अल्ट पे खेल।
You should run.
नेट मार दे ऊपर हेवन में। नहीं वो तो वहां पर है ब्रो।
One enemy remaining.
बूम बट छोड़ दो। नो टाइम इजी। नहीं कर रहा चिल नहीं नॉट बिजी। नाइस वन। नो नीड टू टेक ऑफ। नहीं बच जाओगे, चिल करना यार, पीछे तुम।
I trust you, Jet.
नहीं तू कर ले ब्रो, नो प्रॉब्लम।
मेरे को नहीं आता।
Give me.
नहीं तो you're saying you're trusting me.
Reloading. Yes, but I trust you. That's it.
चिल कर मेरे भाई, मेरा आज का पहला गेम है। Just after 2 minutes of warming up.
What do you do for warming up, by the way?
Easy, they're playing slow. Easy, Runda.
Drop.
Got blocking sight. No charges left.
देख ले।
Eco.
Coming. Check me.
रेना अल्ट पे, नॉट बी को।
वहाँ पे सोवा गार्डन।
एक का कंट्रोल है मेरे पास, स्मोक चाहिए यहाँ पे। आजा ब्रो, भाग क्या।
सोवा लो।
Just shot it, भाई।
गम जस्ट रन।
सोवा वही है।
रेना को किल मत दो, ये आओ जल्दी।
भाग।
जेट आ गई है।
One enemy remaining.
आप शिफ्ट कर भाई, भाग रेस भाग।
इजी रुक। आ जाओ। ओह अमन स्मोक कर रहा, पड़ा।
Everyone's motor functions okay? I know humans get tired.
मेरे को आवाज आ गई, मैंने कहा इसके दूर के दर्शन ठीक कर देते हैं। अभी रुको जरा, सबर करो। प्लीज भाई, हमारे पैसिव प्लेयर हैं। स्पाइक ड्रॉप कर दो रेज।
पुल कर यार।
ओ शिट ब्रो, एक सेकंड पहले बोलना था। सॉरी माय फॉल्ट।
Let's go.
ना।
Then where? आराम से। नाइस चलो एक।
नहीं ओमन यहाँ पर रुक जा।
वेट।
अरे आई वेव ट्रिपल ग्रीन भाई, ट्रिपल ग्रीन भाई। और कहाँ होता है? नेट मार दे ना ब्रो, अल्ट मार दे, इजी। यहाँ पे था, आप नीचे राफ्टर्स के नीचे भाग गए। रेजी ऑफ फेंक दे ब्रो।
वेट।
क्लोज लेफ्ट भी बंदा तुम्हारे
Last player standing.
ब्रो लेफ्ट भी था राइट भी था बोला भी
Spike
क्लोज लेफ्ट भी बंदा
10 seconds
तुम्हारे
left.
तुम लोग बहुत लेट कर रहे हो ना
Sure.
टाइम
Nice.
You can tell a person's character by their first action.
Check me, Dennis. Thank you.
बी पे करे आ जाओ
Let's go B.
Need a drop.
I will ult full backside.
Let's make them dance.
ड्रॉप दे रेज
Thanks. Obscuring vision. Blocking vision. Satchel out. Blocking sight.
Bro, he's inside.
Spike down B.
I got the spike.
नो नो ऐसा तुम्हारे स्मोक में हमेशा स्मोक हो रहा था
नहीं यार केजेट
नहीं चल राउंड इंपॉर्टेंट है फ्लैंक आ रहा है कोई फ्लैंक ऑल तोड़ रहा है उसकी
Somebody out.
दोनों फ्लैंक हैं
Last player standing.
40-40 ब्रो दोनों
One enemy remaining.
वही है वो फर्स्ट में
ओह 120
ब्रो तुम्हारे स्मोक में हमेशा गैप रहता है ब्रो
ये वाला गलत हो गया होगा शायद
लास्ट वाला नहीं होता ब्रो
हड़बड़ी में दिया था हमने
आराम से देखो इशू नहीं है
Don't die.
और मैं भाई मेरी आवाज मेरे हिसाब से क्लियर है मैं 3 बार बोल रहा हूँ पीछे आया कोई आवाज आई है वो तोड़ रहे थे तुम्हारी पिस्टल से तोड़ रहे थे तो देख ले तो इको करो या आप बाय मेक श्योर यू हैव नेक्स्ट बाय एसएमजीस पे मत खेलो एसएमजीस पे मत खेलो भाई यहाँ पे राइट कांटेक्ट में उमन खेलता है उसे तुम लोग मारो मैं साइड घुसता हूँ रुक जाने दो मेरे को चेंज हो जाएगा
What's this?
Nowhere to run.
Knocking down.
नहीं ब्रो
Spike down A.
I have the spike.
मार उसको
Get out of here. Grounded. Blocking sight.
हट जा रे
One enemy remaining.
KG 93.
मत पिक कर सेव किल फोड़ दो उसको फोड़ दो
अरे
पीछे देखना
बंदे पीछे ऑफ तो थी नहीं ना उन पे कैसे कर रहा है
Last round before the switch.
We're moving out. Pack heavy.
अरे चिल्ला बेबे कास केजे नहीं मैं देता हूँ केजे और एक्स्ट्रा मांगो समन आस्क दिस इस पे इकोनॉमी थी तो क्या नाम है ये केओ पे रुको जरा मेरे को भी करने दो इजी आवाज मत करो मिड पे अरे भाई कोई फ्लैंक में देखता है यार।
Get out of my way.
रेज ब्रो तेरी अल्ट है ब्रो, थोड़ा देख ले।
Enemy
Spike down B.
defender spawn.
गो फ्रॉम सिटी गो। एक मिड है एक बी पे, भागो सिटी से जाओ। गन निकाल के पीछे जरूर देख लेना एक जना। गन निकाले ना, उनकी रोटेशन आई होगी। एक जना
Placing sentry.
हेवन पे नैनोसॉम्प बैक, हेवन पे नैनोसॉम्प बैक फिर जा। ओपन ब्रो इसी पे फेंक दे।
Placing swamp grenade.
घुस।
Placing
Hard.
swamp
Last
grenade.
player standing.
इसलिए कहा था ब्रो
You should run.
Switching sides.
Let's go. I got things to do.
रॉबिन हुड है, कद्दू के रॉबिन हुड भैंस की आँख। बेट करके खेल रहा है भैंस की आँख। मुंबई वाले सारे ही बेटर होते हैं भाई। चलो okay, watchmate, just play safe, okay? Play on contact with Astra like this, okay? That's how you survive. Astra, play safe. Don't show yourself.
A.
Blocking sight.
A. No, don't flank. इसकी पिक ऐसी है ना चूतिया की। केयर मत।
They are here. Mid.
Don't picture yourself. Mid open है तुम्हारा।
Reloading.
Mid. Two mid.
Spike planted. Last player standing. Flawless.
Is everyone's tech still working? Double check it, please.
कैसे play go? You guys eco. इको और क्यों भाई अटैक था डिफेंस ऑफेंसिव खेलने के लिए। अभी डिफेंस में मत खेलो, ऑफेंसिव।
Let's take at least one down with us.
Turret out.
स्मोक में आवा ऐसा। Ding, jet ding.
Grenade out.
So why no one was win?
Goodbye. Reloading.
Here A also. Reyna must be shit walking A. पक्का। दो जने यहाँ दिखे हैं।
Reloading.
Enemy spotted me.
Last player standing.
Turret out. strong. Concealment. Concealment.
Omen 74, KJ 20, Renner 20.
Spike planted.
रुको एक
The hunt begins. Stay down. Obscuring vision.
One enemy remaining. Last player standing.
Vision.
तुम्हारे ऊपर ही है अभी वो हाफ डिफ्यूज कर दो अब आया जी भाई
Don't get shot.
ना हो पाए
Human brains are hard to replace.
गाइस रैंक्स क्या है अपने हाँ
तेरा क्या है भाई
मैं तो आयरन मैन हूँ भाई
Placing sentry. Placing alarm bot.
ए
Concealment.
पीछे आ का है अरे क्या कर रहा है भाई तू पीछे आ थोड़ा डिफेंस खेल
ठीक है भाई स्मोक के थ्रू
Reloading.
Spike planted.
Suppressor.
Too easy. Too easy. With concealment.
Target sighted egg. Target 86.
Ah, bois.
रहना बाहर है
One enemy remaining.
रहना बाहर है
Last player standing.
Taking one for the team.
अरे छोड़ दे
Have I told you you're okay? You're okay, fam. Good even.
Turret out.
करो ही तो करो बहुत राउंड है हमारे पास देने को भी है
यार तू पुश क्यों कर रहा है भाई ये डिफेंस है क्या आदमी है
Enemy spotted mid.
Headshot.
लो है लो
Last player standing.
हग दिया
Spike down B.
हग दिया
One enemy remaining.
ओमेन लो है शायद
कहाँ
अंदर साइट अंदर
30 seconds left.
उनने प्लान नहीं करा भाई जाइए मत वो स्पाइक लेने जा रहा है स्पाइक लेने गया है वो
10 seconds left. Spike planted.
Plant तो यही होता. Plant
क्या
तो
भाई?
है.
कहाँ फेंक ब्रो?
फेक कहाँ है भाई? कौन से सट्टे मार के बैठे हो भाई? क्या चल डाल दो उसको. GG's.
I see few things in my sleep.
Clutch.
Don't mess with this Bayana.
ए बड़ी
There's
क्या
my bombshell.
हालचाल
Crushed it, girl.
रफीक, क्या हालचाल है ब्रो? कैसे हो? कहाँ हो? I'm good. What about you, bro? I'm doing as usual. Awesome. तो अगर रिवील तोड़ देना अगर हो जाए तो ना उम्मीदें तो कम है. Smoke off.
Get out of my way.
No one walks away.
ये इसके बाहर ही हैं चारों.
पीछे 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 पीछे.
हट लेके घुस जा भाई. भाई इतना डिफेंसिव किसी रेस को नहीं देखा. केजे प्ले मिड. You will be in range of your nano and all. Play mid bro. Leave me. यहाँ बैठ जा easy. वहाँ तेरे nano वगैरह देख रहे हैं.
Concealment.
बस easy बैठ. Astra की ult है you take के लिए easy.
Careful. Loosen up.
अरे लो 40 लो.
30 seconds left.
एक शॉट है. शॉट है 3
नाइस. ऐसा खेलना भाई मस्त पीछे से.
I hate to say it, but probably best to play as a team. So, what's the plan? Need a drop. Need a drop.
Astra drop Astra.
क्या क्या?
कुछ नहीं मेरे भाई. आराम से रहते.
भाई थोड़ा पहले बोलता.
मेरी गलती.
You should
हाय
run.
भाई कुछ कॉल वॉल दे दो.
बी.
ये डिटेन है पिक कर. अच्छा अब नहीं है.
सवालो. अरे भाई अरे
Blocking sight.
अंदर बोट हाउस. मार उसको केजे यार. अरे भाई घूम के मारना उसको. नाइस.
50-50.
Spike down
50
B.
man.
One enemy remaining.
Nice.
Last player standing.
लेफ्ट से पूरा चला जा घूम के.
Not ready.
एक्सपेक्ट नहीं करेगा वो.
राइट में वो. नाइस.
वैंडल उठा भाई.
उठा लेगा वो भाई. रुक तो.
अब नहीं उठा पाएगा.
We got this.
कोई नहीं अभी भी जीत सकते हैं आप. पीछे सामने वाले.
Need a drop. Thanks.
स्मोक करना है.
Let's fly.
मत कर. रुक मैं बोलता हूँ यहाँ पे. ए पे मत कर.
नहीं करना और मेरे को भी.
इको
पीछे मिड चेक कर मैं जा रहा हूं.
कोई नहीं है मिड चिल.
अरे मार नाइस फूट गया रेना 82
सारे मेन है ना
अरे भाई इको है बे उनका
Last player standing.
ऑफ मिल गया उनको अब
भाई ऑफ लेके आगे कहाँ जा रहा था क्या मतलब
भाई अपनी साइड से मरोगे तो लेना है तो फिर आना पड़ेगा ना पीछे पीछे आया वो मिड पे आ चुके थे तब तक फ्लैश मार देता है
Spike planted. Thrifty. Match point.
Paint? Check. Charges? Check. Brakes? Nowhere in sight.
Just gotta throw off the air.
Turret out. Alarm bot out.
केजे उसका वो आएगा ना वो तोड़ दियो सोवा का
Stay safe.
यहाँ पे खड़ा हो जा
Here.
स्मोक ऑन करो अभी
आई तोड़ दियो 2-3 B
You should run.
No charges left.
बाहर आ जा
नहीं आ सकते भाई
Last player standing.
नाइफ कर रहा है वो उसको भाई
Attackers win.
₹2 people 2 fucking rupees people चलो भाई गोल्ड लॉबी थी 3 फर्स्ट ब्लड है इस आदमी ने अपनी पिंग ही नहीं बनाई भाई इससे हारे इसका कुत्ता बना के इसने मेरे को ऐड किया था इसे मैंने रिमूव किया था इस बंदे से हारा हूं मैं क्या बोलूं यार मैं क्या बोलूं क्या ना बोलूं यार ईमी टच पूंजी है पता नहीं क्यों मिलते हैं यार ये वैलोरेंट चूतिया गेम है भाई कसम से बता रहा हूँ ये प्लेट 3 को भी उठा के ये दे रहे हैं ये बेटर भूतनी के साले घर पे बैठे हुए हैं एक से स्मोक नहीं दिए जा रहे एक से तो क्या ही बोलूं शॉट मांग रहा हूं तो वहां दे रहा है चूतिया गेम है भाई कसम से भाई मेरा खेलने का मन ही नहीं करता ये इंडियन सर्वर्स पे ये हरकतों के बाद जीजीज अरे कोई चीज नहीं यार ऐसी टीम मिलने से अच्छा ना गेम इंस्टॉल कर दो पेंचो एक गेम लगा डी रैंक होने में मूड की माँ बहन यार वो बंदा घुसिंदा कहीं पे सारा हिजड़ों की तरह वो लेके बैठा हुआ है एरीज क्या है यार इसकी हाँ मूड की ऐसी तैसी मार दी ब्रो कसम से
What's this? 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 What's this?
एमलेस करते हैं 1 मिनट यार, थोड़ा सा एक गेम और खेलने का मूड है, फिर मैं सोने जाऊंगा यार। एक रैंक अप कर लेते हैं अच्छे से गेम में। ब्लड भी बहुत हैवी हो रहा है भाई, ऐसा लग रहा है कितने ही गंदगी भर दी है उसमें यार, जबकि मेरा साफ करा हुआ रखा, पता नहीं ऐसा क्यों फील हो रहा है।
What's this? What's this?
ये ग्लाइडर्स कितने दिन में बदलने चाहिए साकेत? क्योंकि मैंने अभी तक बदले नहीं ग्लाइडर। साल भर तो नहीं हुआ होगा।
What's this? 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 Here.
एक यार दिन भर यूज करते नहीं हो। नहीं भाई मैं तो रात में तो खेलता हूँ यार स्ट्रीम पे। Why don't you love baby? हट यार, हाथ ही नहीं खुला हुआ। तुम लोगों को दिख रहा है क्या एम लैब्स? एम लैब्स नहीं पकड़ा इसने तो। कैसे चढ़ गए यार, कैसे चढ़ गए, लड़ गई यार, कोई पतंग लड़ गई, वो भी पतंग जैसे मस्त बनन गई, कोई जुबान पे चढ़ गई। Don't you love baby? खाना चलाते रखो। ये क्या हाथ रुक रुक के चल रहा है भाई? हेलो कुछ नहीं गई। मार गई। अरे 89% आ रहा है, इतना ही लमसम आता है मेरा, फिर क्या हो रहा है? ये बीच में पता नहीं क्या हैक्स आया है मेरा सिस्टम। हैंग से मतलब हैक बोल रहा हूँ मैं। गेम में भेज दोगे भाई आज की तारीख में कल जाऊं? हाँ भाई नींद आ जाएगी। किसका आ रहा है अभी मैच? वीवो और क्रू। क्रू कोरियन है ना? नहीं लटाम में। हाँ वीके में तो ब्राजील का हो जा भाई लॉन्च।
I keep a knife in my chest just to cut holes off. I don't know 'em. Leaving a bitch in the past. I gotta go now. It's over. Left me out here grieving. Shit don't add up, baby. I'ma get even.
कैसे बोलता है?
It's a cold world, baby, and I'm just getting heated. So I'm the only one I ever really needed.
हाय यूज करते चलो। डेथ मैच भी नहीं मिल रहा। मेरी 80 पिंग आ रही है मुंबई सर्वर पे। जीवन मारो को चाहिए आपको?
मैच फाउंड।
ये डी रैंक का दिन है क्या आज?
Death match. Warm up.
अरे भैंस क्या बोलेगा भाई, पैकेट लॉस की बारिश हो गई गाइस। आई डोंट थिंक सब खेल पाएंगे हम। हेड कांटेक्ट पे क्रॉसर रिप्लेसमेंट प्लेस करने पे लेट हो रहा है, ये देखो।
Watch them run when lit by my sonar. That's when we strike.
90 ping.
Fight!
Ready.
नहीं भाई, I don't you love baby. I think guys आज की स्ट्रीम इतनी थी।
Thug.
इतनी दूर से स्टिंग करने उसने इतना लेजर दे दिया भाई।
Silence. Right here.
शॉट यहाँ हुआ हेड और यहाँ मरा। फील हो रहा है। उसके हेड पे था। दिल का दरिया बह ही गया। कहाँ बैठा था भाई ये? आँख तेरी के ठीक है भाई, मैदान में कूद जाओ सारे मारने के लिए एक आदमी को। हाँ ये हैकर और व्हाट हैकर हैकर 9 बड़ी
Taken out.
झौपट सर पे गया भाई इसके पटाए। एक 131 भाई। ब्रो पलटा नहीं मैं।
Enemy down.
अच्छा फ्री फायर करेगा पापा को। पापड़ को पंच
Ten kills remaining.
अरे भाई लड़ने देना रे। फाइनल बाय गुड बाय स्वीट ड्रीम्स। मैं भी चल रहा हूँ ब्रो। I won't be able to play like this bro.
5 kills remaining.
हालांकि पिंग मेरी अच्छी हो गई अब।
Now 4.
Bro, no bro. बीच में श्राप आया था थोड़ा। नहीं रे। नारे नारे जरा सा झूम लो।
One kill remaining.
ये मेरे हाथ हैं बिल्कुल चिपके हुए मतलब बिल्कुल पीछे है मेरे हाथ। ओ भाई लोग बाग कैसे खेल लेते हैं ऐसे। उसी चेयर पे आई थिंक हाथ ऐसे स्प्रेड होते होंगे भाई। मैं तो पूरे टेबल पे फैला के खेल पाता हूँ भाई। अभी मैं उनको सेमी कर रहा हूँ। सेमी फैला के मतलब आधे बाहर आधे में। तुझे चूम लूं ना अरे नारे बाबा नाम चलो। चलो 2 बज गए सैंड मेमोरी। चलो गाइस थैंक्स फॉर वाचिंग। थैंक यू साकेत फॉर विजिटिंग वंस अगेन एंड कमिंग ऑन स्ट्रीम। इट मींस अ लॉट। कल मिलते हैं ठीक है। और सी का टुमारो स्ट्रीम डेली हो रही है अब डेली होगी। लेट्स सी वी विल कंटिन्यू द ग्राइंड। थैंक्स फॉर वाचिंग गाइस। गुड नाइट। टेक केयर। बाय बाय।